flash. They'll dip their toes into a non-conference game right before conference play commences next week for both sides. The traditional break through the wall as the Eagles take the field at Ryerson Stadium, ready to rock and roll for today in front of a homecoming crowd. We bring you up and inside of the booth, Jason Ross Jr. alongside Toka Jackson. Pumped up for this one. Two schools that have experienced traditionally conference play success. However, less than ideal starts. Level inside of the EMU 40 and a very efficient start for the Raging Cajuns offense.
So this is a stop route, Jason. Watch him run the defender off. He's going to show like it's a 9 route, getting the ball off on time, but see, he's running a DB off. So he threatens Joshua Scott deep because he is fast and explosive player. That's a timing situation. As soon as he stops, the ball's got to be there before the defender recovers, and that was as good as it gets.
Cut back as they give it to Bill Davis. Goes up. That was a gain of 18 on the last pitch and catch to Robert Williams. Now following it up, a very balanced look so far.
So we talked about Zylan Perry and how explosive he is. What I like about Davis is when he comes in the game, you can't really tell any difference. The run game does not change in any way whatsoever. 5'9", but 225. Thick, tough. It's like tackling a fire hydrant. I don't know if you've ever done that. I wouldn't advise you do it.
Nice pace early on, too. They go to the passing game again. Good blocking again. Dump it down again. It's Chappell once more, his second catch. And a little attitude at the end of the run, too, as he gets knocked out of bounds. We said to each other before the game, Tayoka, how many guys would Eastern Michigan bring? Put them in the box?
Yep.
Can you test Louisiana to see if they will prove to you that they can pass? Early on, they are.
So Eastern Michigan is committing to stop the run, as they should. This is an offense that only threw the ball 8 times for 5 yards last week, right? So you're going to force them to beat you. And so far, I like Beal's ability to read the defense and, like you said, the time that he's given to do it.
Gain of 11 on that last play. Getting down inside of the red zone, inside of the 15. Another cutback. It is Perry, and he's into the end zone. An opening drive statement on the road from an offense that had been struggling, and they strike quickly.
Well, look, Eastern Michigan has put on tape some sloppy tackling. And as a football player, when you watch tape, you get excited when you see your opponent screwing up. Watch the tackling here. Who fronts Perry up really and gets a solid hit on him? And this is the type of guy, if you don't get a solid hit, you have no shot. He's only 214 pounds, but most of that is in his waist and below. He is thick and strong.
Sterner on for the extra point. Toka, there was a lot of contact, but it never ever felt like Perry was actually. First empty backfield for Kim. First pressure he faces and has to just throw this away. So a really clean start for Louisiana on the road here. Forced the 3 and out after a 75-yard drive on 7 plays.
Well, they blitzed, Jason. Cameron Whitfield off the corner. And we saw that a lot last week as well. Louisiana is not afraid to bring people, and they want to affect this quarterback. And that's what they talked about in the meeting. Coach Jim Salgado talked about we need to affect Noah Kim, whether that is with late shifts and moves to affect him mentally or bring pressure and get him off his spot, and that's exactly what they did there.
Robert Williams back to receive this punt. First of the day for Mitchell Tomasek. Fair caught. Louisiana off to a very solid start. Up 7-0. Offense coming back out for their second trip when we return. And they were right on par with that 7 yards per carry type of deal coming into this game. We saw it on the opening drive. So now take 2 for Beal. They'll go to the ground, and this time Eastern Michigan's defense ready on the edge. That is Makai Gilbert wearing the number 0 today. Very athletic on the end.
Well, Ben Needham, the defensive coordinator, he singled out Makai Gilbert, both he and Tyrell Martin, as the key to this football game. If you single block these 2 tackles inside, you're going to have a hard time moving the ball on inside runs. Makai Gilbert is a big, tough, physical player.
They got Davis as the back flag goes flying, caught underneath. Third time they've targeted the tight end. Now this time it is Caden Jensen on the catch. But we'll see what this flag is for.
Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. Number 79 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
First time today we've heard from our referee, Tim Barker.
He said number 79. I'm not sure he got that number right. Either way. So this is not the start that Louisiana likes to their drives. Obviously, a TFL in the beginning, and now a penalty that backs them up. If you're Eastern Michigan defensively, you've got to capitalize on this situation right now. They have struggled to play complementary football all year. Here's your opportunity.
They go to Bill Davis. The tackling for Eastern Michigan was an emphasis all week long in practice, and a very heavy emphasis. Sterling Miles making the hit there.
Well, that's the former sprinter. That's the former high school sprinter. You see the timeout being called, but Sterling Miles is a very active and relentless football player, and what a joy it was to talk to him this week. Get used to seeing number 56 around the ball because he'll be there all day.
Told us he ran the 100 and 200 meter before he started playing football in 4th grade.
Not too many track guys, Jason, grow up to be hitters. But he's a little different. He grew up around football players. His dad was an offensive lineman. His brother was an offensive lineman. So he was destined to put his hand on the ground. And they'll move him around, too. He'll have his hand on the ground. He'll play some off-backer. But his game is about speed and quickness and relentless play. Not the biggest, but if you can run, you can get away with being not the biggest. Because when he gets to the ball, he's usually bringing the wood.
So you got an injured Ragin' Cajun down on the field here. So keeping our eye on that status. You mentioned that conversation with Sterling Miles. He would go to his brother's football practices after school, after his track practices. Said, I kind of like this, and eventually tried it out in 4th grade, was a natural, was a big Usain Bolt fan as well. Like you said, family alignment. He told us he was the skinny one, but he could bend a bit more than his siblings.
Well, look, and he's the baby brother, right? So the baby brothers are always a little special. You know, I was a baby brother, so I have a little affinity for those baby brothers. But no, really.
You still behave that way?
Well, listen, I was a product of my older dad, older brother and sister. Huh?
Do you still behave that way?
Well, of course I do. I'm going to milk that baby brother stuff. Are you
that's
kidding me?
That's all I'm trying to get to the people.
No, but really, what a joy to talk to him. Very mature young man, right? You know, he's a 20-something. It felt like I was talking to a 40-something. Just really intelligent and just really had a lot of fun talking to him this week. Jamarian Gooch, I think, is he's the injured player.
Having trouble putting weight downs. They're going to help him off the field.
He's taking care not to put any weight on that gimpy right leg. And obviously, in these situations, you want to see young men walk off on their own power, and that's not happening there, and that's unfortunate.
Had him slotted in at left tackle today on this offensive line that plays, of course, a very key role in the 7.5 yards per carry average that this backfield has been delivering through 3 games so far.
And of course, you know, we highlighted this backfield, but there is no backfield to highlight unless your offensive line is doing what they do best, and that's moving forward, playing as a team, and moving people off the line of scrimmage. Only one TFL so far in this game, but you don't see a lot of leakage in the backfield. It's going to be very interesting as you take a look at Bryant Williams coming in for Mr. Gooch. Can they continue to run the same offense with backup offensive linemen in the game?
Another Louisiana native up front, so a very important left tackle spot. We'll see if Eastern Michigan brings the heat here on 3rd down. Quick throw, and Davis couldn't hold on. So maybe the pressure forcing a quick throw. Nonetheless, Eastern Michigan, good answer back from how crisp and easy that opening drive was for Louisiana.
Well, I think you called it. Quarterbacks feel pressure. And once you get around them and start to hit them, it speeds up their clock. And this was just a swing play, a called swing play. It wasn't a check down. They were running the swing play as something really easy to try to get some yardage. And because Beal felt rushed earlier in the series, he felt rushed when they weren't there. Incomplete pass, and that's a great job by this Eastern Michigan defense to get off the field.
Juan Salas back to return this punt. Nathan Torney, the 27-year-old punter, got it downfield, and the coverage team got downfield in a hurry for Louisiana. There is a penalty flag out there. This is way back near the punter.
I think that was Charles Robertson.
Number 27, kicking team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
I think that was Charles Robinson, that big hit along the sidelines. Gotta get you fired up now.
You said before the game, it doesn't feel like your average final non-conference matchup of the season. You see the records if you just tuned in. Eastern Michigan 0-3 coming off the loss to Kentucky. Louisiana coming off the loss to Mizzou, 1-2 on the season. So right now it feels like for both coaches, Louisiana was just in their conference championship game a season ago against Marshall, and Eastern Michigan has had success in the MAC in recent years. To set the tone moving forward, you got to do it right now.
Now, both ball clubs are very proud, and I think I got the feeling that both of them feel like they're better than their record shows. But you know, right now you got an opportunity to put it on tape.
Louisiana went 6-0 on the road last year. They know how hard it is to win away from home. Throw caught on the sideline. It's Terry Lockett, who Noah Kim called his safety blanket. We chatted with Kim earlier this week. That's a go-to connection. They got to get rolling here.
Well, they go way back. They both started their career at Michigan State, and they lived together, have known each other for years. And so when Noah got here, the easy connection to get him acclimated to his new team was Terry Lockett.
Terry texted the coaches when Noah was in the portal saying, you got to go and get this guy. They got him. Empty backfield and a lot of potential options in this set here for Kim. Another quick throw. It is caught again. Should be enough for a first down over along the sideline. It's Porter Rooks this time, the Charlotte native.
So it looks to me that when they go empty, that's an automatic key for Louisiana to bring people. And so that ball has to come out quick. And you see the stop route at the sticks. Excellent execution. Off coverage because you're playing man-to-man with no safety in the hole. That's a great call against that defense.
First time in plus territory for the Eastern Michigan offense today. Again, they moved it in the opening half against Kentucky last week. Just more field goals than they would have liked. On the road in Lexington, dump it off this time. It's Joshua Long, the tight end, getting involved. They say he could throw it anywhere, and Long will try to haul it in. He does so there, but there is a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Look at Doji Dawe, who's been really consistent at right tackle, maybe the most consistent lineman so far to a point this season.
Well, when you're built like a man tower, you're not going to get away with too many holds. I mean, 6'9", about 310 pounds, right? And those hands are huge. Look at those big white gloves. If you're squeezing and pulling cloth, people are going to see it. But look at that. He's still growing into his body, Jason. I mean, he's a senior, but he's still growing into that. Those are some long NFL-type pass-blocking arms.
Yeah, look at the hands. Flexes him up again as Kim just tries to get some of this back, which he can do with his legs. Took a hard hit at the end of that play, harder than you would have liked. And we get a flag coming in. Curious to see what this will be, Tayoka, because Kim's a little shaken up.
Personal foul. Targeting with the crown of the helmet, number 4 defense. That call was under video review.
Yeah. So right as that hit was made and the way Kim got hit, you're wondering that word targeting came into our minds, and now we'll start looking at this replay and try to figure out which indicators are present.
Well, first of all, this is one of their best players and skippers, so they cannot afford to lose him. Let's watch number 4. Does he duck that head? No. To me, that is not a crown of the helmet infraction. That's face mask hitting. I do not see the crown of the helmet, and that's what the official said specifically, that this was a crown of the helmet hit. No, I see a ball carrier low, and I see a defender dropping his hips. Now, yeah, there is some helmet-to-helmet contact, but I don't see a launch.
I'm curious, Tayoka, when you look at that replay, what the officiating crew is deciding he is leading with here. And it's hard because Kim, of course, from the defensive player perspective, is going down.
Correct, but now this is the angle that has me a little nervous if you're skipper. See, yeah, okay, that is close, but crown of the helmet is the top of the helmet. So, you know, I'm going off what was said, crown. That doesn't look like crown. Now, run-of-the-mill targeting, maybe. But look at him drop his hips. I don't see a launch. I do see contact with his helmet, but sheesh, at the end of the day, this is still tackle football, Jason. You know, for me, maybe I'm a little biased as a former defensive player, but I don't think you kick the guy out of the game for that.
It's also, I think, an interesting element to this is there is a clear finish in the head or neck area.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's pretty evident on the replay.
One of the indicators. Generally, you have to have two indicators, though. You have to couple that with a launch, or you have to couple that with top of the crown of the head, a spearing motion.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. It's going to be close. I mean, obviously, these are all judgment calls.
And when we say that crown of the helmet area, for people out there who are referencing the 6-inch radius from the apex of the top of the helmet.
At top of the helmet, right where you see that little space, right where those two white bars on these helmets, that begins the top of the helmet or the crown of the helmet. That's not where the contact was made. So for me, it's not that. However, you still have an argument for targeting based on the other things we saw. So this is 50-50 for me. And I hate to straddle the fence. You know me, I'm going to take a stand, but man, this one's tough. I'm going to be honest with you.
It is. I think the most challenging part from the defensive perspective is how Kim is going down.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the replay, you have indicators that you're seeing on that graphic there present.
And I'm not shocked that it's taking a little bit longer because this is not cookie cutter. But here it comes. And again, if it's me, I'm not doing it.
After video review, there is no targeting on the play.
There we go, Tyoka Jackson. They agree with you. On the field, it was called targeting. Then they went, looked at it. And again, a very important player in Tyree Skipper, who had 8 tackles last week, fifth-year senior in that secondary, going to get to stay in this game.
I think the official being very specific and saying crown of the helmet, for me, was saying, no, it's not that. And I think that's really, he went to the screen looking for a crown of the helmet and didn't see it, and now we play on.
Reset things, 2nd and 9. Eastern Michigan in plus territory, trying to keep the momentum going. Oh, nice missed tackle, McMillan. He's got the 2,000 yards for his career. He hits 2K and gets EMU a big first down.
So when you draw it up, and by the way, that's Skipper, the guy they tried to throw out, as you see tempo from EMU. But when you're an unblocked defender, the entire program is counting on you to make that play. Easier said than done against an outstanding player like Dante McMillan, but that's your play to make because Tyree Skipper was preseason first team all Sun Belt in his own route.
21 big yards. Trying to answer back and tie up the game on this drive. Go to the ground again, trying to get the edge. It's McMillan once more.
That's outside zone, and that's outstanding blocking by the left tackle. I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's Everett Small on the outside. So you saw Dante McMillan pressing, looking for a cutback. Well, he got a soft corner, was able to turn it.
For McMillan, some of those yards coming at Weber State. The Seattle native made his way east. Kim bobbled that snap. Now he throws for the end zone, has a target. Just overshot his good buddy Terry Lockett in the back corner.
And I think that snap, that's what got him off track, right? I mean, that was an easy throw from Noah Kim, and we've seen him make that on tape all year.
And how many times in practice going back to Michigan State together have those two guys throwing that ball?
And it was a 7 route, a corner route by Terry Lockett, and he came free. That's a blown coverage in that secondary. You got to take advantage of these opportunities. They don't come very often. I mean, that's one thing Louisiana has been good at is their pass defense.
Go back to the ground. Nice jump cut from McMillan. Eluding tacklers down inside the 5. Sets up 1st and goal. Look back at that cut here.
You called the jump cut, and I love it. You got to be athletic to do it. But it takes vision, Jason Ross Jr. Watch him press the hole, then bam, jump back to daylight, and look at the explosion. Be slow to the hole, fast through it, and that puts defenders in a tough bind. When we talk about pressing the hole, that means don't cut back too soon. Go in the direction that the play is flowing, forcing the defense to overreact, and you cut back off of it.
Perfect in the red zone so far this season with either a field goal or a touchdown. They want 6 here. Kim will give them 6.
So when you are running the tailback run game and it's very successful, the easy thing to run off of it is the zone read, because they're going to react to putting that ball in the belly of the tailback, and you pull it. You've got an athletic quarterback who knows how to score the football when he's got it.
So Eastern Michigan gets the answer back from that opening drive touchdown for Louisiana. It was 8 plays, 54 yards, resulted in a Kim touchdown to cap it off.
Dante McMillan set it up with great rushing from the tailback position, but Kim says, you know what, I can run it too, and they're putting in work in the factory, folks. EMU off to a fast start.
Noah Kim and this Eastern Michigan team settling in. Okay, you asked him who his favorite guys to watch are.
Yeah, he talked about Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, who are great players to watch, don't get me wrong, but physically his game to me matches up with Russell Wilson. I mean, his ability to make quick decisions and always get his offense in the right play, and he has the athleticism to just be fast enough to pick up first downs and keep the defense honest, as you saw in that touchdown.
It's his last college season. He talked to us about embracing every moment, living a dream that he wanted since he was a kid to be a Division I quarterback. His third stop, and he knows today it's all about embracing the moment of wanting that first win of the season before conference play starts up against Central Michigan next week.
Yeah, the line I loved, he said, was no days wasted. That's a mature young man, because young people think that there's a billion days ahead. Well, don't worry about tomorrow. You better take care of today. No days wasted. That's a senior right there.
You can feel the intensity in his voice, and we chatted with him leading up to this game. You can see it in his eyes right now, has this matchup knotted up at 7. Louisiana comes back out offensively. Tayoke, was the penalties that set him back last time.
But I don't think it's any reason for Coach Decimo to change who they are. It's only 14-0. You've got an explosive run game. Stay with who you are, and you'll be fine.
Tayoke, third series for Louisiana, which means it's lunchbox time, as they call it. Lunch Winfield is in. He's going to come in every third series today. They hand it off. We'll see mostly designed runs when Winfield is in. Redshirt sophomore, Louisiana native, dual threat guy, and they are deliberately bringing him in every third series.
He is basically a running back who can throw the football. He is dynamic in the open field, and that little read option look right there, there was nobody for the quarterback. To me, I'm running that play again, and I'm thinking if I'm Winfield, there's a keeping opportunity. And so right now, the Eagle defense needs to adjust to who's in the ball game, and you better be prepared to have a package for their package.
They'll pitch it to Robert Williams here, setting up blocks for him on the edge. And he gets cut down. We'll see where they mark it after the second down run. Looks like just short of the yards again.
Robert Williams is a touch guy. They draw up things to get him the football in open field. That's really will go down as a pass because he pushed that ball forward. That's an easy completion. As you see tempo right now.
See if they just try to barge through the pile here. Lunch is trying to push everyone. I think they did push everyone for enough, depending on where forward progress is marked with Zylan Perry.
And did you see after the ball was given to Perry? Lunch Winfield began to push.
Yep.
Right? That was like a lunch push right there.
It was a lunch
right?
pail push.
Yes, it was.
When he was playing in high school, the student section would chant, lunchtime, lunchtime.
Watch the give, and now watch the push by Lunch. That's lunchtime right there. Nice job. First down.
Snacking on the pushes there. They'll hand it off. Perry has an edge this time. A crease hits the second level. Dodges a tackler down inside at Eastern Michigan 35.
There was some penetration by this EMU defense. Watch them have to belly back right here, but no one got a shot on him now. And look at the speed, the explosive ability of this guy in the open field and downfield blocking by multiple receivers, including Raji Dennis. But you can't have long runs without receivers blocking downfield. Great job by this Raging Cajun offense as a whole.
30-yard runs. Zylan Perry told us earlier this week his thing this season was making guys miss at the second level. He does so there. Gets 30 yards. They bring Bill Davis back in. First throw for Winfield is high. So again, his forte more so with the legs. This is his series, the third series. Daniel Beal got off to a good start throwing the ball.
That is rather incomplete.
But they are, for the second time today, inside of Eastern Michigan territory.
Well, and like you said, Daniel Beal got a great start because of the type of throws he had. Some very easy throws, getting the ball out quickly. This time they put Lunch on the move, which he's very comfortable in doing, but just hasn't had enough throws. He sails that one because Shelton Sampson was wide open on that cutout, or outcut, excuse me.
So they bring Beal back in right on cue. Going to throw it this time high, nearly dangerously off the fingertips of Robert Williams. Had a couple of DBs in the vicinity there. Luckily, it doesn't lead to anything dangerous for Louisiana.
Well, he saw number 3 coming hot and heavy off of it. And that's Barry Manning. You see him trying to move out. No, you got to catch that football first, Robert Williams, then make the move. He began to move before he caught the football, and that's why that was an incomplete pass. Outstanding job by Barry Manning by reacting to the ball in the air, and he was coming to lay the lumber.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Odd part of the field, too. They dump it down. Ball is in and out of the hands of Caden Jensen. Really good coverage there from Bryce Llewellyn. They call him that bandit spot. He makes the great play there and now forces a decision here. Looks like it's going to be the special teams unit for Louisiana.
Yeah, that's one of the best run and hit plays that we've seen from EMU defensively. They have struggled, but playing hard has not been their problem. Messiah Blair and others running hard, chasing the football, and forcing Beal to get rid of that football under duress, which is going to make it a lot tougher to make the completion.
They're right about where Tony Sterner, we were told his long would be. Trying to add 3 to this lead. It's got the leg. And it is good. Looks like Sterner got run into as well. A little shaken up after nailing that kick.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wait a minute.
It was a 52-yarder.
So here's a rare situation where you want to take points off the board right there. Ooh, that's dangerous. Yeah. My goodness, I'm glad he was able to get up and go off under his own power, because I've seen that end up much worse. So good job, Sterner, being able to shake that off, and we'll see if that affects him down the road. But that penalty, though, I mean, it's costly for this Eagle defense, right? And rarely do head coaches like to take points off the board, but in this situation, down 14.
Let's get in the red zone.
Yeah, and you get 15 yards and a first down to boot. You've got to take full advantage of this now. This is in a very important sequence for the Raging Cajun offense.
So mental error. As you can see, Louisiana take the points off the board. Offense goes back out. Beal to QB on a drive that was started by Lunch Winfield at QB. Beal comes in trying to finish it. will shovel it off. Perry had a 30-yard run on this drive that was huge, and he is pushing the pile here. That low center of gravity, he's hard to bring down. Lower half is so strong.
Yeah, that should have been a dead play. As you see a flag down again.
Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty. First out.
And Cooper Fordham, they get there on the holds. That'll set him back.
Both of these teams have been doing a really good job of not penalizing themselves coming into this game. EMU is one of the least penalized teams in the country, but both of them now are starting to rack up some penalty yardage. But the greatness of Perry, you saw that should have been a dead play in the backfield. The first guy normally does not tackle him, and that's the mark of a really, really good back. Does the first guy tackle him? Not number 3, Zylan Perry. It takes a lot of guys to the football to get him down.
It's going to be 1st and 15. Hand it off. Another big crease for Perry to get some of that back. Goes helicoptering down, then emerges up. Got a good chunk of that yardage right back.
Consistently, Jason, he's getting to the second level untouched. And when there is some penetration, defenders aren't getting off the block. But here, he's untouched to the second level. That's scary. With a back of this caliber, nobody's impeding his progress to the second level. You're setting up for huge runs as that continues if you're the Eagle defense.
He did go into the tent, Perry, after that last run. Was a little shaken up. Bill Davis, his partner in crime, comes in for him. They'll fake it to him. Looking and connecting with Rock Chapel, who gets run out of bounds. Chasing him down there was Andrew Marshall. But where they're marking this, we have a penalty marker, so we'll see what the updated marker is. A lot of flags littering throughout the course of this drive.
Rock Chapel's a very big target, 6'5", over 250 pounds.
Offense, number 50. 15-yard penalty. Down.
So that's center Cooper Fordham. Now, generally, if it's going to be an illegal block below the waist, that tells me that they were out of the tackle blocks. And so he's probably cutting somewhere on the field where he shouldn't have been.
Second penalty Fordham has been hit with on this drive.
And right now, the Raging Cajun penalties are starting to mount. First rule of winning is you can't beat yourself, and they've done a really good job of that in this situation.
It was Sterner who hit the 52-yard field goal. Eastern Michigan got a hit with a running into the kicker penalty, so they took the points off the board, opted to keep the drive going instead, but have set themselves back a couple of times on that mission of trying to get into the end zone here with penalties to the O-line. Bring Williams in motion. He gets hit promptly in the backfield. Now you're starting to get pushed all the way back to you originally attempted that field goal. This is Carter Evans flying up to make the tackle.
Yeah, we talked about there have been defenders getting penetration and getting in the backfield, but they weren't making a play. And if they don't block you, you better make the play. Great job by Carter Evans of not losing leverage on that ball, because Robert Williams is a very explosive player in the open field. That's the type of player a big guy makes not very often. So I tip my cap there, Carter Evans. You did it all by yourself.
Sets up 3rd and 23. This homecoming crowd trying to get into it. Beal back to pass, pocket collapsing on him though, trying to get some of this yardage back for his field goal kicker in Sterner. Got up to, would set up about 4th and 11s, maybe picked up 12 there as the clock's winding down on this first quarter, but makes this ensuing field goal attempt much more manageable.
And I like the decision by Beal. Did not put the ball at risk.
The first quarter.
You see the first corner running out, but didn't put the ball at risk, understanding they were in field goal range. Get as much as you can and get down.
A smart decision from the redshirt freshman who makes the start today with Walker Howard still out. Soaring into a homecoming afternoon and a fun start to the playing the MAC for EMU and Sunbelt for Louisiana.
And to that point, we talked to him about, the struggles they've had and how you continue to coach up your team. He said, look, honestly, I don't believe any less in this team, believe it or not, because of the results. The way they've worked all week, the attention to detail, the discipline, things are going to turn around. They just stick to doing what they've been doing, just do it better.
Both coaches almost mirrored each other in saying that. Like, our belief is not eroded whatsoever in what we've done or what's in front of us. Both sides playing hard so far today. Returnable kick from the goal line here. A crease breaks out. The tackle made by Logan Klotz. At least he tried to finish it off. The kicker to avoid a potential return from Javen Norman there.
That's a great job right there by Norman to set up his offense in excellent field position. And I think field position is going to be a sneaky key to this game. You know, we've seen two teams that have struggled at times offensively. And anytime special teams can give them a shorter field, boy, that's going to make things a lot easier offensively. Let's see if the Eagles can capitalize on it.
Now back comes Noah Kim. Touchdown run on their last drive. Drops back looking comfortable in a really good pocket here, and a good throw on target to the sideline, picking up a first down right away. Terry Lockett Jr., his third catch of the afternoon.
Well, here's his security blanket. First of all, beautiful pocket and time. Now watch Lockett on the over route. Beautiful job of uncovering, and the ball is slightly behind, but Lockett Jr. has outstanding hands, and he adjusts very well and smoothly. What a real smooth athlete, Terry Lockett.
23-yard gain there. They call Lockett a smooth runner. That was kind of the perfect word to use there. You could see it on the replay.
And when you're smooth like that, it's hard for defenders to know where you're going.
Just tripping up after taking the handoff. Luckily, nothing more dangerous than that happened there for McMillan, who exceeded that 2,000-yard mark for his career in the opening quarter.
Very competitive player. They talked about how hard he works, how tough he is. And again, when the ball carrier is your toughest player on offense, that means you have a very tough offense.
Our producer, Jeff Graham, director Kevin Schenk, always very excited for your back alley question that you ask the coaches. Rarely does a running back get rewarded with the back alley award for you. He got the back alley award this week. They go back to the ground game. Louisiana's defense ready on the interior. That time, Chase Edwards, 6'7", 285, making the tackle that time.
Yeah, this is a guy who they want to see more production from. And they like his work ethic as well. The production hasn't quite been what they expected, but they like how he practices. And they just want, and as they said this about a lot of guys, they want to see the game tape mirror the practice tape. And if you just keep doing it in practice, things are going to turn around for you in football. That's the way it works. Louisiana, excuse me, Jason, getting them off track here behind the sticks. Like, you got to pay off on it on third down.
Kim trying to make him pay. He wants Devereaux. Oh, Devereaux holds it in. What a grab down inside of the 5.
They're going tempo because they do not want this thing reviewed. And that's their fastest player, folks. Nick Devereaux is their speed guy. They run him on a 9 route in man coverage, and he makes a fantastic play along the line of scrimmage. As soon as this thing is snapped, they can't review it.
They're going to speed it up, try to get in the end zone right away. And they do just that. Back-to-back drives with an Eastern Michigan touchdown. Javier Dunlap breaks the goal line.
That's smart execution to go hurry up, but I want to go back to that catch because it was a terrific job of execution. First of all, not throwing the ball out of bounds. Give your guy a chance to make it. And smartly, Devereaux is holding the defender off, not pushing away, but pushing down. And then here's a touchdown, just simple inside zone. But they're doing it quick, so the defense is not really ready to get set and defend that play.
So Nick Devereaux making the grab, Tioka, and it was a heck of a highlight reel snag.
Well, keep it simple when you got the fastest player on your offense. Just run a 9 route and let him make a play. 50-50 ball by Devereaux. Real slick, setting up the touchdown. EMU again in the end zone.
Just on special teams, seen a good chunk of Bill Davis and Zylan Perry, but Blanco could get involved if Zylan Perry is still a little shaken up. He went to the tent on their last drive, so to remind people of that. Daniel Beal comes back out at QB. And Perry had been having a really good day, really good start to that drive. It's Bill Davis who comes out at running back next to him. So hoping Zylan Perry can come back in this game. We'll keep an eye on his status.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. And the good news is, though, Stephen Blanco is averaging 7.7 a carry, too. So, I mean, that's why they have the best backfield room.
You think in the
conference? Yeah, there's no question.
Crease opens up slightly for Bill Davis. All of those backs from Louisiana, too. They recruit heavily out of their own state. There's Perry on the sideline. So good to see him with helmet on, out of the tent. Just a matter of when he's able to come back in.
And he's feeling that song that's being played. That's good biorhythms right there.
It's like you pregame.
That's right.
And during the game.
Kendrick Lamar make you move. No question about it, even if you're a little sore.
For sure. Go back to the ground here. Bill Davis got cut down hard, trying to reverse it back up the middle.
Yeah, that's Sterling Miles again. And you're seeing the versatility from Miles. He will line up on the edge of the defense, on the line of scrimmage, again, off ball. And speed and quickness is his game as he came in knifing in and makes a nice one-on-one tackle against Bill Davis, who is not an easy tackle at 225 pounds plus. Now this is here a big test. This is where Louisiana all season has struggled. Third and medium or long. Bill has to be smart with this football. Don't put it at risk, but you're looking for a first down.
Good slant over the middle. It is Robert Williams once again. He's kind of been the go-to target in the passing game so far to this point for Louisiana. They find him and enough for a first down.
And I like this for Williams because he kind of alligated armed it earlier, as you remember. And that's a really smart cut. Just timing it up, letting his fellow receiver clear it out, and does a great job with the slant. And it looked like to me Williams got hit in the head. They should be looking at this for targeting.
It was a gain of 11 on that last play. Throw incomplete. Out of the reach of the intended target, Charles Robertson that time. Jason Marshall on the coverage, the senior, trying to give his defense another stand here with Eastern Michigan. Again, their first lead all season long, taking on that last offensive drive.
First down, incomplete pass. I'm playing run all the way here against this offense.
They go to the ground, and it's Blanco this time. First carry for him. In for Zylan Perry at the moment, who was shaken up on that last drive. Now Bryce Llewellyn a little shaken up for Eastern Michigan. He's a very key piece. Don't want to just say in the secondary because he's all over the field for them.
He's a versatile player. Like you said, all over the field. They'll bring him down in the box. He'll play like a linebacker, and he can easily slide back as a deep middle safety as well. And they call him a headhunter. He's their biggest hitter on defense. They can ill afford to lose him against this rushing attack.
Didn't see what happened, but it went down pretty quickly.
See that hand opening and closing?
Yep.
I recognize that. That's some stinger type stuff there. He's trying to get that stinger feeling out of his shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah, a little collision. Friendly fire, right? A little friendly fire with his fellow defensive player, Jason Marshall. You know, and that's stinger right there. You're just trying to work out that burning feeling in your shoulders. All defensive players have experienced it at one time or another. I expect Bryce Llewellyn to be back on the field sooner rather than later.
See Zylan Perry standing next to Stephen Blanco. Bill Davis back in the game at running back. Big 3rd and 3 here up near midfield. They'll fake it. Rare non-running play on 3rd down leads to a first down and a catch from Raji Dennis. His first grab, just his second of the season for the redshirt freshman out of New Orleans.
I like how you described that rare 3rd down and short run. And this is where the time of the season where offense is self-scout. And they say, we've been running zone on this play. Well, let's pull it out. And that's an easy throw for Bill. That's just pitch and catch right there as you do in practice. And everybody was affected by the run fake, though. Running the football well opens up stuff like that.
Start to try to shake up what defenses are seeing from you on film.
No question.
This is the tendency on first down because it works. Big play here. Bill Davis hits the second level and hits the end zone. Rips off 45 yards to put Louisiana back in front.
Now, I told you that Zylan Perry was a home run hitter. but so is Bill Davis. This is 225 pounds in a 5'9" frame. You ever seen a bowling ball run downhill? Well, you're seeing it right now. Missed tackle, and then watch them open them up. And there are defenders giving all they got, but they just can't close the gap. Messiah Blair, great hustle, but it's just not enough.
Looked very similar to the Zylan Perry run earlier, where he just never had any confidence that someone was going to bring down a guy like that barreling downhill. Another lead change, our second, and back-to-back drives with touchdown. This one, it's a Louisiana touchdown, and Bill Davis goes 45 yards, leading the team in carries this season. This the biggest thus far in this matchup. Louisiana offensively. And Javen Norman brought down after bringing that kick out to the 25-yard line.
And just to piggyback what you just talked about, I mentioned it again, the best part about Bill Davis is you can't tell he's any different from Zylan Perry when he comes in the game. They change nothing. The production stays the same. And so while we want Perry back in the game and we hope he's healthy, that's the bad news. The good news is they've got multiple guys they feel comfortable with to hand the ball to. Now EMU has to respond. Heavyweight fight. This is what's brewing right now. You get punched, you punch back.
Now, who can answer is starting to be the name of the game in this first half. Kim got that throw away despite hands in his face. Out of the backfield, it's McMillan, who's worked really hard on his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Something he struggled with early on in his career, but has made a strength now.
Well, you had an unblocked defender right in his face. And what I saw was the ability to change the launch angle. He dropped that arm down to a little bit of a three-quarter sidearm and got it around the defender for completion. That's good stuff.
Another quick throw, another quick catch. First down for the Eagles.
And that's the difference with this offense, Jason. They've got the ability to throw it and run it with efficiency. But again, let's take a look at that last play. Watch the defender right in his face trying to affect him, and he throws it around him. Still a beautiful spiral, still accurate. Great job of hand catching the football by McMillan and getting upfield.
Porter Rooks on that last grab. First time we've seen him really lick to the sideline and make an adjustment like this. Eastern Michigan watched their first lead of the season dissipate quickly after Louisiana's answer, trying to snag it back here on a drive that's off to a good start. Nice cut, broken tackle. McMillan carrying the defender, Jaden Duggar, with him. Duggar, the linebacker for Louisiana, who wears the green dot, gets the coach-to-player communication. It's a couple of key players going head-to-head right there.
And that was Trey Tomlinson, number 20, in the hole, unblocked. But again, these backs, Dante McMillan this time, the first guy doesn't tackle him. And these guys are just outstanding. If you like running back play, you've come to the right place.
And you like to see good tackling.
I
do. It's giving you a little PTSD here. These running backs flying at you once more, right into your screen. Goes McMillan again. It's Williams with the tackle, but not in time for McMillan to not get another first down.
And they've got Dunlap and McMillan on the field at the same time to stress the defense. This is 20 personnel. 2 backs, no tight end, 3 wide receivers.
Gain of 11 on that last run. Another check to the sideline on this drive. Another flip out of the backfield. It looks like Dunlap this time on the receiving end. It is. What do you think about those deceptions that looks to the sideline that we're starting to see?
Oh, I love it. Again, you're showing a different look with this 20 personnel, and then the motion pre-snap, forcing the defense to adjust, and then again blocking on the perimeter, making little guys, DBs, corners, try to tackle these tough running backs. That's smart gameplay right there.
I was just about to ask you if you think Louisiana's starting to look like they're on their heels right on cue. They make a couple of substitutions as Eastern Michigan is in plus territory, third time today, to the ground again. Maybe trying to create some tired legs as this drive keeps moving. Caleb Cabaudy on the tackle, the 5th-year senior.
I think right now you're starting to see an offensive line get in a great rhythm. They're doing a great job of protecting, and the run game obviously is stellar. They've been really good in the run game all year. But this is what a rhythm looks like when big guys are feeling good about themselves.
Kim well protected again. Wants Devereaux again. Same spot. Incomplete this time. When Devereaux had that spectacular grab right in that corner earlier in the game, they wanted it again.
And I like Cody Jackson, the coverage, but did you see that little subtle shoulder shimmy by Noah Kim? He's trying to make defenders jump, and that's a really good job. Well, a little bit of a
Some
hold.
hand battling there.
Yeah. A little bit of a hold by Avery.
The arms get thrown up at the last minute.
Yeah.
I don't think I did that.
Yeah, that's pass interference, but didn't draw the flag, so we play on.
A fun opening half. 3-point game, under 6 to go in this second quarter. Kim, another quick throw, and was that picked off? At the moment, they are saying no. They are saying that hit the turf.
Incomplete pass. Third down.
Tomlinson was headed the other way with his intentions on the end zone, filling in for Mariam Eliam at that star position today. It was a dangerous deflection. We're going to look at it again here.
It looked a little off to me from the beginning. Just trying to catch. See that ball still.
Officials timeout for an injured player of the offense, correct?
Yep, clearly hits the turf.
And what Noah Kim was trying to do, he was trying to throw his receiver away from the big hit. And that sounds great in theory, but sometimes it can sort of go astray because the receiver's looking for that ball on the inside. Kim throws it to the outside, trying to save him from the big hit, and it almost turned out to be a disaster. You see Terrence Saunders walking off under his own power. Blue Valley West, Overland Park, Kansas.
Shout out to our director, Kevin Shank.
Yep.
Knows that area well.
You know, Shank right now is dancing in the booth.
He's also eating a donut that you gave him.
That's right. And you know, our
The
A2
second, I just want to add
our
on.
A2 up here is guarding our donuts. I've been thinking about reaching for one, but the way PJ is guarding it,
5:53 until
is that the
donut
rule?
time.
I gotta
think
wait.
it's a rule I just made up for you.
But I bought the donuts.
I want you to have some pace today.
Okay.
These offenses have had some good pace
We
today.
gotta have a conversation off air about that. I don't know how that works.
It's called improv.
But more importantly, third and long. Like, can the Raging Cajuns get off the field on third down? Because this is not quite field goal territory for EMU.
Kim steps up, couldn't get out of the wrap, though, of the pressure that just was relentless from Jordan Lawson. You talked with the coaching staff about his hand placement. Going to see it on display here to finish off this tackle.
He's a preseason first-team All-Sun Belt player. And when you bring this type of pressure, what you're trying to look for is one-on-one matchups, and can defenders get on the edge of blockers and get off the block? And that's exactly what happened. Initially, Jordan Lawson was blocked, but because of his relentlessness, he's able to get off the block because he's on the edge of a man instead of working down the middle, and he makes a really athletic play against a really slick Noah Kim who can get out of those jams normally.
Rudy Kessinger, redshirt freshman from Columbus.
Love that pooch punt, smart.
And it rolls down to the 1. Just inside of the 1.
At the 1 yard line.
4:58 to go, puts Louisiana in a tough spot.
If he doesn't make that tackle, it's a very good chance that the runner, Bill Davis, is still running. Well, catch that. That's Steven Blanco, actually.
Llewellyn back in, by the way, on defense for Eastern Michigan.
First charge timeout. Eastern Michigan, 30 seconds.
Both teams had all 3 of their timeouts prior to that one being taken.
Yeah, I think that's a smart timeout if guys aren't on the same page, because this is a very important sequence defensively. You want your punter on, their punter on the road, punting from deep in his end zone in this situation, especially when you're punting to really dynamic players. They got some really good special teams return guys. They want this ball punted. Even if there's no return, they're figuring at worst we'll get this ball at midfield. And like you said, going deep into this first half, if you can come up with a score if you're Eastern Michigan, that'd be huge.
Avery Morris. Short 8 bucket. Ryan Tomsky. And
Big 3rd and 7 here. Like Taoka said, you look at this situationally down the final few minutes of this half. Eastern Michigan trying to get a big stop. Beal will hand it off, and the interior of the Eagle defensive line ready there once again for Blanco.
Yeah, I like the call by Michael Desimo. He knows putting the ball at risk with your young quarterback is not the smart thing to do. He knows stopping the clock in this situation only helps EMU, a running football team. Go ahead and run the football, get as much as you can, give your punter, your great punter, some room to operate.
They need a big boot out of Nathan Torney, the 27-year-old punter.
27? Oh.
Aussie on pace to set a career average in per yardage on his punts. Back, you got Juan Solis, who's set up in plus territory. But this is a big boot. He's drifting back on it at the 45. Catches it, made one man miss, then snagged down at the 47.
It's really good execution of punt and cover right there. One-step kick to get that ball away without being blocked.
See the drive chart so far for Eastern Michigan. The quick 3 and out, that opening drive, then back-to-back touchdowns led by the arm of Noah Kim. The punts on their last series, but a big one coming up here with some really good field position.
So what I want to see right here from this Eagle offense is possess the football. Do what they haven't done really well all year. They're second lowest in the MAC in terms of time of possession, which is sometimes a misleading stat. What would the doctor order here? A nice, methodical 52-yard drive, ending with the ball in the end zone and taking a ton of time off the clock.
They hand it off, couple of cuts from McMillan. Up the middle he goes. We've got the 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout.
See, they're going with a hurry up, and I'm not sure you need to do it. Let's see if they actually go fast with it. See, that's smart. See, get lined up, see if you can get a read on what are they doing defensively, and see if you can maybe jump somebody off sides.
Once again, the patient running of McMillan. Now you've got a 3rd and short situation coming up here.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want if you're the Eagle offense, right? You're going to huddle up, let the clock continue to run. It's your friend. You got Louisiana right where you want them, 3rd and short. And don't be shocked if this is 4-down territory in this situation. You don't have to change anything about your character. You are a physical, run-first team, and you need to show right now you can run the football even when they know you are.
They brought Devereaux in motion. They like his speed and space. Couldn't quite slip the tackle, though. Credit the hustle that time of Ashe coming over to make the play.
Yeah, he's got speed. I'm not in love with the call, though. I mean, has Louisiana really showed that they can stop the inside zone? I mean, I know what you're trying to do, trying to create a big play.
Timeout.
Off of flow going the other way. I'm just not so sure this is the opportunity to do that.
Definitely a decision coming up here.
I think you line up and run the football. I mean, obviously it's easy for me to say from here. I don't get paid the big bucks to do it. But I think you just line up and show who you are.
We'll see what Eastern Michigan decides to do. A big decision when we come back on ESPN+.
Yeah, in situations like this is where Noah Kim is at his best. Really smart decision maker. His processing speed is excellent.
Porter Rooks on the grab. He'll line up as a receiver once again here. Bring a tight end in motion, blocking and quick moving now. This is Dunlap hovering up the middle, and inside of the red zone he goes.
This is zone blocking at its finest, folks. Watch everybody wash to the right side of the screen. Everybody's going that way. Dunlap puts a foot in the ground and runs to daylight. That's terrific job both of the offensive line and the vision of Dunlap to see what's happening in front of him and take grass.
Quick gain of 13 there for Tavier Dunlap. Michigan transfer. Came in this season, one of 19 transfers. You see the downhill physical nature of his running style, especially late in the half like this when the defense might be a little tired. Bring him in and you see his imprint right away. Eastern Michigan had not led in 23 quarters up until taking a 14-10 lead in this game. Had to go back to November 24th of 2024 against Ohio when they were up 7-0 before they took that lead. Louisiana with the answer back on the ensuing drive to take this 3-point lead. Both teams get conference play rolling next week in the MAC and the Sun Belt. And an important final drive here of the half for Eastern Michigan. Take the snap, pull it, wants the end zone, and the Eagles go back in front. Joshua Long, the tight end, on the grab for the touchdown.
You got a lot of defenders in white jerseys looking in the backfield, Jason, because the run game has been so effective. So that play action right there is really effective. And that is as simple a pitch and catch as you're ever going to see, with Joshua going right up the seam, unmolested really, and drops it right in the bucket for Noah Kim before the defender can make a hit.
Ready for those cannons to go off? Might have some more points on the board.
It shocks me every single time.
21-17 with 1:13 to go. Opening half, and still a little bit of time for Louisiana. Not an offense that stylistically is planning to move down the field that quickly, but they do have a couple of touchdown drives in less than 3 minutes so far. They went 70+ yards. That one was 7 plays, 52 yards for Eastern Michigan. And credit, you got to go back to that, the pooch punt, I guess what we'll call it, direct snap, little deception that pinned Louisiana back on their one. Then Eagles take advantage of the great field position.
Yeah, that's exactly what Chris Creighton was hoping. Get the ball down near the one, probably better executed than he could dream of, right? Just inside the one near the goal line. Then defense does their job and holds them and makes them punt the ball from backed up. And now the offense takes great field position and scores with it. That's called complementary football. That's called team football. And that's the Eagles at its best.
Chris Creighton's group wanted all 4 phases to be good today. Look back at this last touchdown here.
Number 87, Jalen Long, is in a 2-point stance right in the middle of your screen. And I want you to watch Jaden Duggar with his mouthpiece out right here. That token hit, you need to get more of that on him. And I understand Jaden was so preoccupied with the play action, thinking it might be running, he's got to react to it. He just doesn't have enough opportunity to get a real hit on Joshua to slow him down for that safety to come up and make a play. When Long can get a free release like that and the ball is on time and on target, I mean, that's an easy touchdown.
So now Beal comes back out, looking to throw here. That ball overthrown, incomplete. This is what you expected out of the first half today?
Well, yeah, I expected it to be very competitive. What I wanted to see, though, was which offensive line was going to begin to dominate the line of scrimmage. Both of them has done a great job, don't get me wrong. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from ENU. They're beginning to dominate the line of scrimmage. And here's the thing. The game is still close enough where Louisiana doesn't have to get out of character except for this drive.
Beal stood tall. Good sign for Louisiana that Zylan Perry is back in the game and missed the last couple of drives.
You see that knee, that right knee is heavily wrapped.
Yeah, a little hobbled, battling through it.
But this situation, if you're Daniel Beal, I think you got to protect him. You don't want to put him in a situation where he's putting the ball at risk, making throws into coverage.
Another quick throw, first down. It is Shelton Sampson Jr. guy who they really wanted to get involved today. Kind of mirrors that theme you mentioned earlier. Practice reps looking great, just trying to translate it to game day.
Yeah, and that's a nice route of hooking up. He's understanding his zone coverage. He's finding the soft spot in the zone and expecting that ball to be where it's supposed to be. Again, right there.
Another soft spot underneath. This time it's Robert Williams juking tacklers. Look out. Seam up the edge. Gets out of bounds with 22 seconds.
And see, when you get a guy like Williams the ball in the open field, he's a receiver with the route, right, hooking up right over the middle with defenders dropping deep. Now he's a punt returner. This is where he becomes special. See that this is all punt return stuff, and he's a dynamic athlete with the punt return. Once he gets the ball in his hands with space, that's exactly who he is.
They're inside of field goal range right now for Tony Sterner.
Yeah, but I want more. I'm being aggressive if I'm the Raging Cajuns, understanding that EMU gets the ball to start the second half.
They've reached a territory where they can try to get aggressive. Looking to get out of bounds again here. Caden Jensen on the catch. 18 seconds.
Still have 2 timeouts. This is plenty of time with the timeouts. I love how they're working the sidelines, get the ball out of bounds. Now you can take your time with the play call. The communication's been stellar. And I like Beal in this situation when the entire building knows you need to throw. This is something he's struggled with all year. I see improvement today.
No step up, wanting it all here. One-on-one coverage. Out of the reach and incomplete. Had intentions for Kadarius Wade.
He had the room, and he just didn't give Wade a chance. Threw that ball too far to the outside. Now, he was bothered with a little bit of pressure. I think that might have sped his process up a little bit. But if that ball is more inside, I think Kadarius has an opportunity to make a touchdown there.
Caleb Dobbs was on the coverage. Corner from Florida. Now 13 seconds left in 3rd and 7.
Protect the football in this situation.
Beal gets pressured. Same story, same side. Oh, that was in and out of the hands of Shelton Sampson, and Dobbs on the coverage once again.
Now, I didn't like the throw before that. This throw was sensational by Beal. This is how you give your 6'4" receiver an opportunity. A little bit of hand fighting going on. I like the no call. Just really close.
Really couldn't have placed it any better.
No, really couldn't. And just, again, right off the fingertips of Sampson, that was close to being a spectacular catch.
Sterner comes out for the 44-yarder to try to make it a 1-point game going into the locker room. Definitely has the leg for this, a big boot, but it is off the mark. So had the distance, did not have the accuracy that he had earlier. 3rd miss of the season. And it keeps it a 4-point game. In a game where it's looking like it's going to shape up to be pretty tight. We'll remember that moment.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out again to this Eagle defense. I mean, they've been in battle. They've been, I mean, at times they have not been very good tackling. You've seen them make enough plays to be in position where their offense can make things happen with pretty good field goal position. So improved play on both sides of the football here for the Eagles.
Something Eastern Michigan has not done this year is take a lead into the locker room. They're going to do that today on their home field on homecoming day. 21-17 after 2 quarters of very entertaining play. You know, it feels like a must-win game for both sides. Eastern Michigan looking for their first one of the season and before conference play gets started next week. And Louisiana coming off a 52-10 loss to Mizzou. Competitive first half.
Yeah, we promised you that. And as the audience is saying that, we tell no lies. We thought both of these teams, desperate may be a little much, but they really wanted this one back.
They're playing with that air of desperation today, and it's created a really good matchup so far. 21-17, first time all season Eastern Michigan has led going into the locker room. Louisiana trying to get a big road win, a group that went 6-0 on the road last year. Well, the halftime coming up on ESPN+.
feel for the game and understands space, time, and his processing speed. Dumping the ball in deep passes. I talked about the Russell Wilson comparison, who's a great deep ball thrower. And then the decision-making right there on the read option. The decision-making is what makes him special. He may not be their best offensive player, Jason, but he's their most valuable because he's consistently putting the offense in a good spot to win.
10 of 14, 118, one touchdown in that opening half. His teammates have all the trust in him as well. So confident.
We talked about that trust, right?
Yeah.
And he said, you asked him about what was his biggest focus in the offseason. He talked about developing that camaraderie and that trust with his teammates. A lot of guys talk about technical things that they work on, whether it's being more accurate or working on the deep ball, on his legs or whatever. No, he talked about developing trust. He understands that football first is a people business. And so if the guys that you play with trust you and believe in you, they're willing to run through a wall for you. So, again, with his buddy Lockett, it helped him get him acclimated with his teammates, and you're seeing that sort of stuff pay off right now.
Eastern Michigan won the toss, opted to defer to begin the game, so they will receive in a timely fashion, and Noah Kim ready to rock and roll and get this second half underway.
This is a big drive from Louisiana defense. They want to go 3 and out initially and put that offense back on the field. You saw the numbers. They have performed well offensively. Can this defense make EMU punt from backed up, set up their offense at good field position, and capitalize on that and possibly take the lead in the first possession of the half?
Rex Schultz set to kick off. Javen Norman back to return. We'll take it from his own goal line. Found a sliver up the sideline. Flag down prior to that.
It's an obvious block in the back. I didn't see who the offensive player was, but I think that was Avery Demery who got blocked. Here's the simple rule. If you see the back of the jersey, don't touch him. And though we couldn't hear it, I'm telling you that's what it was. And again, if you see the name on the back of the jersey, don't touch the guy. And I don't think he needed to do it, Jason, to spring his return man.
Return team for 32, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
We talked about it in the first half. A game penalty started to creep in a little bit. Neither team has turned it over. No slim margin for error is what this game feels like it'll hover with the rest of the way.
And that's one of the things that EMU had been doing well all season, not committing penalties. That's a big one right there. They're backed up. Let's see if they can come out this hole.
Their worst starting field position of the day. On the 5, Kim, quick throw, gets some of it back. Trying to motor up near the yard to gain, and doing so is Devereaux, who had a really nice first half, the grad student from Troy, Michigan.
Well, I mean, he beat him deep earlier, and so you saw the tremendous cushion that creates in defenders' mind. That was about 10 yards of cushion from the defensive back, nearest defensive back, and so, yeah, just running a stop route to the outside, you're going to be wide open.
They're going to call this 2nd and inches. Came up just short. And Devereaux, their fastest guy in this offense, when he gets in space, he can really move.
Off coverage again at the top of the screen.
The rolling on the field of the runner being short of the line to gain is under video review.
So can review that spot if it pertains to the yard to gain or the goal line. We'll take a look at it. It felt close. I feel like in real time he got there.
Again, no defender on the outside. You've got another guy coming, leaving his coverage to be able to get out there to make a late. And man, that is really close. And it's about where the ball is when Devereaux goes out of bounds. So don't look necessarily at the feet, but look at where the ball is when he crosses the white line. That's what they're trying to determine right now. But I think as this game continues, EMU offensively will try to take advantage of this off coverage. I mean, it's just not all. It's completely loose coverage. You see, again, that ball's on the inside, man, and I think that's the first down. I mean, that's not the greatest angle. We're not quite down the line, but it looks like when he finally wrestles him out of bounds, the ball is
video
completely
review
out.
with possession 18-yard line. It's first down, team.
Every inch mattering in what feels like a must-win game for these two sides.
And to that point, every first down matters. Now you haven't completely lost the backed up position that you had, but that's one first down right there that you're giving up in Louisiana. If you're defensively, the guys in the red hats, you're saying we have got to stop them here. Make them punt from this area in the field and we'll be in good shape.
See Duggar creeping up to the line there. Louisiana showing the blitz. They come right after him. Nice shed of the tackle there initially from Ben Prosper, who gets up near the 20.
And see, Jaden Duggar's got to make that play. And obviously it's a really good defensive play for no gain, but you could have had -5 or 6. Your unblocked player, make that. Wrap up better than that. You're better than that. That's the difference between setting up 2nd and 3rd and long, and now you have an opportunity to get the 3rd manageable with 5 or more yards here offensively.
Kim eludes the ankle tackle and able to dump it off. Prosper again, this time involved to set up what you said, that 3rd and manageable situation.
And first of all, Noah Kim, how about the toughness there to stay up, keeps his wits about him. Really just a cool customer inside and outside the pocket. You're going to see this rush get around the legs of quarterbacks. Quarterback hates stuff around his legs. Smartly gets up, throws a very, very accurate ball. But to your point, it should be really 3rd and 7 or 8. Instead, it's 3rd and 3.5 or so, and that's manageable.
5 straight completions for Kim. Can he make it 6 in a row? Had a lot of time to throw, got that off, but incomplete. Good coverage downfield. Kim took a hit as he threw as well, and the punting unit should be coming out here.
Wow, that was incredible coverage by everybody in the secondary for Louisiana, and they did their job now. That's the punt, not necessarily from completely backed up, but when you got your punter line up at 10 or inside the 10-yard line, that's pretty darn good. But the coverage was amazing, and so was the pass blocking, but still nowhere to go with the football.
Robert Williams back to return this punt from Mitchell Thomasek. 2nd in the FBS entering this week in yards per punt, 49.8. That's a deep one that then takes a sharp hop out of bounds over into that Louisiana sideline.
That's an excellent punt. I mean, that is perfect for a dangerous return man like Robert Williams. You got no shot at the return, and whatever that punt was, it's that in net yardage gained by EMU. And I know field position is the most sexy talk in the football, right? Most sexy topic. But in a game like this, it matters.
Head coach Michael Desimo on the sideline there for Louisiana. His 10th season overall at Louisiana. Head coach since 21. And his team down 4. He'll hand it off. The spin through traffic there from Perry. And brought down from behind by Tyrell Martin.
Good to see Perry back in the game. Started the second half as he started the first half with a 7-yard plus run. And that's the type of efficiency on first down that really keeps the offense on schedule.
This Louisiana group met as a team the Sunday after their loss to the Missouri game. Ownership, leadership, kind of spearheaded that meeting and wanted to talk about the mentality entering this week, which has been a great week of practice leading up to try to bounce back before Sunbelt play gets started against Marshall next week, which will be a rematch of the Sunbelt Conference Championship game from last year. A group that went 6-0 on the road last season. A lot of winning over the last 4 or 5 years or so, in a program that does continue to establish their imprint on games as a physical running team. Beal stepping in at QB today with Walker Howard still out, the transfer from Ole Miss, who began the season as the starter. Got injured in that Week 1 game, and now a 3rd and 1 here.
Look at the people in the game. That's a defensive tackle, if I'm not mistaken, playing fullback. Full house backfield is what they call it.
Yep, their full house unit trying to block for 1 gritty yard. Looks like they got it.
And this is nothing pretty. This is about mashing the guy in front of you. This is old school football. Look at double teams and look at the movement. That's beautiful short yardage offense. They're not looking for a home run here, folks. They're just looking to move the chains and continue to possess the football. Great execution right there.
Patient running here, which is what we've seen all day from both sides. We highlighted these running backs entering the day. Louisiana has their two-headed monster in the backfield, Zylan Perry, Bill Davis, Stephen Blanco, a third in there as well. Eastern Michigan saw Dante McMillan hit 2,000 yards for his career on the ground earlier today.
We talked about the struggles with tackling from the Eagle defense. If you're Louisiana, just keep calling the runs. Just keep calling it. They've shown on film that they will put some poor tackling out there every now and then. Just continue to test that.
Getting up near midfield. Beal has to improvise, use the feet well, then a toe tap of a grab. They're going to say that's complete on the sideline to Brock Chappell.
That's great. That's great work by Brock Chappell. First of all, Beal keeping his poise. A lot of young quarterbacks now get happy feet. Now they want to take off and run. Breaks the pocket and looking downfield, and that's Chappell working back to his quarterback and presenting. Again, 6'5", 252. It's a heck of a target. Presenting the target to throw it right here along the sidelines.
Gain of 11 there. They say Beal, his strength is the mental side of the game. Just kept things alive there, stayed calm. Running through the holes from Bill Davis. It's never too fast or flashy from these backs, but they wait for things to open up.
Again, and that's the credit to the offensive line. Not a lot of penetration right now from the Eagles. So the offensive line is getting on blocks, and they're staying on blocks, and they're running them wherever and taking them wherever they want to go. That's what zone blocking does for you. You take the defender wherever he wants to go, and you rely on the back to cut the ball where he sees open grass.
Flag came in. It was Charles Robertson in motion.
Snap infraction. Number 50, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Those are the type of penalties, Jason, that just gets you off schedule. You can't afford it. We talked about the penalty yardage is starting to mount. You go on the road, you can't bring the penalties with you. And they've done that so far. They need to get it under control. It might cost them in the end.
Sets him back here to 2nd and 9. Had multiple penalties up front today for Louisiana. And several have come in plus territory. Sticking with the ground game, though. Zylan Perry was looking for the cutback. Got bottled up, though. Combination of Donovan Green down there along with Sterling Miles.
Miles again. And this is great gap control defense. There was nowhere to run the football. Everybody's in their gap. Look at them search and search. Okay, I'll cut it back. Nope, we've got a guy there, too. So great job there by Sterling Miles not to overrun it. A lot of times those speed guys, in their haste with using that speed, they'll overrun the football and give up a big play coming out the back end. Didn't happen there.
Flip it out. Perry had to make a man miss. Couldn't. Good tackle in the backfield. Llewellyn came up. Remember, he's all over the place when it's flying around here.
Yeah, and he beats the block. That's aggressive football. That's the type of player he is. We talked about him being a headhunter now. Versatile player in the box. This time he outruns the offensive lineman who was assigned to block him and makes a one-on-one tackle in open field. Something, again, this defense has struggled with, but even better today.
Huge emphasis in practice this week was the tackling. That was maybe the best series we've seen so far of just straight up open field tackling from Eastern Michigan. Torney's punt hops into the end zone. And we will go to break. 21-17. Kim and the Eagle offense come out for their second series the second half.
Tonight, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. The world will be watching. Stream WrestlePalooza on the ESPN app tonight.
Cena, Lesnar, marquee names, Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indy later tonight, right on ESPN Plus, where you can stream all the action from WrestlePalooza.
You get it all with that streaming. You got the NFL, you got college, you got wrestling. One-stop shop for everything.
Before we know it, college basketball, hockey.
Women's volleyball right now.
Yep. Quick tackle in the backfield. Louisiana defense trying to answer the bell here. Down 4. You wonder if this right now, early on in the half, it's been the tackling that hasn't been good for both of these teams stepping up.
How about that? I mean, that beautiful job of wrapping and being physical by really a safety type player, a smaller guy that normally these backs take for rides. Excellent job.
Kim's second series of this half. Rolls out, throws it down. It was that grab made. It was, but where are they marking this from Tavier Dunlap? May have lost a couple of yards.
Yeah, that's a bad decision by Noah Kim, and you don't see that very often. That's where you want to throw it to his feet. Or just throw it over his head. You won't get it grounding because the receiver's right there. You see what's happening. You see that he's blanketed by a defender and he's in the backfield. Go ahead and throw that to the sidelines. Throw it at his feet. That was not a smart decision right there.
Last season was the second 10-win season under Michael Desimo for Louisiana. Defense was a key part of that. Trying to get off the field on 3rd and 15. Kim dumps it down. They want blocks for Dunlap. Has a couple of big blocks up near that first down marker, and he got past. So in that 3rd and 15 situation, I think they picked it about 18, 19 yards there.
Yeah, using the defense's aggressiveness against them. And look at the big guys get out and block little guys. We got a double team, no chance there. Now watch the physicality at the end. He's smelling the yardage needed for the first down. Excellent job by Dunlap dropping pads and getting it.
I will say this game has been like a tutorial reel for incredible open field blocking from both teams. Kim has to evade pressure again, dangerously lofted up and picked off. This could be a house call. Dodging through traffic, trying to snake through is Cortland Flowers, and he is in. A pick 6 for Flowers.
What a shocking development. Again, I've talked about Noah Kim's decision-making and processing being terrific. He goes on the waggle. Now it's just get rid of the football, but out of bounds. Don't try to hit, who was that, Devereaux, late across the field. You can't do that. That is an absolute no-no. I'd rather you give up the sack. This is a disaster right there, play from a guy who doesn't make a lot of disaster plays. Talk about Noah Kim. Terrific job by the Raging Cajun defense.
Rarely will he ever put himself or the team in a position that's dangerous. Does so there. Louisiana takes advantage of it promptly. They're going to take a look at whether he got in, but Flowers right now, his first pick of the season, the 5th-year senior from Dallas, a pick 6 to put Louisiana in front, at least as it was called on the field.
Let's give credit to Cortland Flowers for not dropping it. Now he goes airborne here. Where is the ball when that knee hits? It looks like maybe that left knee hit first. The question is, where's the ball when it does? There's the knee down.
You're right, it's tight.
The call on the field is a touchdown, so it has to be indisputable visual evidence that the call on the field was incorrect, and that is close. I don't think we've seen a definitive angle yet. I believe he was short, but believing isn't good enough.
After video review, the ruling on the field has been upheld. Touchdown.
Yeah, and I think that is because you just couldn't see an angle that said that the call on the field was wrong. But again, that's the bad decision, and that's just like a punt catch for Flowers. And he knows what to do with it once he catches it. Great job of lunging for that end zone. What a sensational play for this Louisiana defense.
That's what it felt like. Ball hung up there for a while.
Yeah.
For
He had
Eastern
nothing on
Michigan.
it.
Yeah. Well, for Eastern Michigan, turnovers have been an issue in the sense that they haven't forced any themselves at all throughout the course of the season. a group that started 4-1 last year. Over the course of that start, they forced 7 turnovers during that stretch to begin the season. 0-3 start to this year. Haven't forced turnovers on the opponent, and turnovers now forced for the first time in this game for Louisiana. The pick from Cortland Flowers is a pick 6, and the Raging Cajuns go back in front. First pick 6 for the Raging Cajuns since August of last year. Comes at a timely moment to go in front. Third lead change of the day between these teams. They've kind of taken the sails out of this homecoming crowd as well. Still just a 3-point game. Coach Desimo liking the start to the second half for his group. He said when you face adversity, you get back in the room and you work a little harder. They did that in practice this week. Now find themselves with the lead on the road.
We talked about being consistent. And both defenses, or both offensive, or excuse me, head coaches said the same lines. You can be demanding without being demeaning. That's how they manage this situation where the things haven't started off in the first part of this season the way they want, but still got to get players to get better.
Yeah, unplug from doubt was the mindset for Louisiana entering today. Their defense performed really well through the first couple of weeks. Only allowed 22 total points through weeks 1 and 2. Then played a really good Missouri team in week 3 that they felt like they just weren't ready on both sides of the ball. Today they've come out, and you can see the mentality from both teams, which has led to this tight game. Now Noah Kim, a chance to reset. He threw an interception on play number 1 against Kentucky last week. Went back out on the field as if nothing had happened. He then led this team down the field multiple times against Kentucky on the road last week after that early interception. He's got so much experience. Definitely don't doubt that he'll come back out with a lot of confidence.
And don't think they won't lean on him either. They couldn't care less about what happened here. They're going to lean on this mature, senior quarterback.
Got pressured from both sides, got the throw away in time. You can see Louisiana's mindset of blitzing really starting to creep in after Porter Rooks makes that last grab.
They did a lot of blitzing in the second half against Missouri. They're not afraid to do it. That's man coverage. Be very careful with Devereaux and Lockett against man coverage.
And look for those guys to try to take the top off the field. This is McMillan moving the pile. See where they mark forward progress here. Right now they've got to spot it as enough for a first down, so they will give it to him and move the chains here.
I like how the Eagles has turned up the tempo. Get Kim back in the rhythm. The best way to forget about an interception or a pick six is to get more plays in. Get him thinking about the now and not about what happened in the past.
Kim hands it off. Broken tackles again. How about this second effort on the run from McMillan? Slashing up the sideline there.
There's a hot term when describing running backs, and it's called contact balance. And this is what it looked like. When you hit me, I can keep going with physicality and burst. That's contact balance, folks. That's a very live body in that 8 uniform.
Gain of 20 puts him over 100 yards for the day. They've got him back in here, dangerously trying to bounce it. Not too dangerous, though, with his speed. However, did that extension of the run lead to a call that may be in the holding zone here?
I said 8 uniform. It's hard to tell between Dunlop and
Offense,
Miller.
number 77, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's not good. Everything's on schedule, everything moving forward. And you got the man tower, again with the second home penalty of the day. Those hands are too big, young fella. They're not going to miss it.
Hands in the cookie jar,
right?
Need a bigger cookie jar.
Big white gloves on, too. Got to keep those hands inside the frame. You can grab and hold as long as they're in the breastplate area. It's hard for the officials to see it. It's when those hands get outside the framework of the shoulders that makes it an easy call.
That sets this way back, 1st and 20. Kim looking, has a man softly wafted up in a soft spot in the coverage. Wanted Porter Rooks.
Pass intended for Porter Rooks, incomplete.
I think he expected Rooks to keep going outside, Jason. Rooks sort of settled down in the soft spot of that zone, and I think he being Kim, expected him to keep drifting towards the sideline. It's a great throwing window. Yeah, see, he kind of settled down there. I think he thought he was going to keep going, which would have been a completion. As 2 guys not on the same page.
Well, forces the short run on 2nd and 20 in a 3-point game. Coach Desimo for Louisiana, they just felt like their practice performance that has been good has not translated to game day this year. But today, especially in this 3rd quarter, would you say this 3rd quarter has been their strongest so far to this point?
No question about it. And it's been the weakest for the Eagles. They have come out of the second half locker room not ready to play the majority of their game. So this is holding up to how it's been the trend all year.
You're right. That was a big concern. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. 3rd and 15 for Kim. Good coverage downfield. Found an open man in the seam. The speed of Devereaux on display again. Time and time again, Nick Devereaux coming up big. A grad student from Troy.
Well, I love the throw, and obviously the dig route was great, but it's the time from the offensive line. Look how much time he has to break, contain, and find the open Devereaux downfield on the deep dig, which takes a long time, folks.
Gain of 25 there. Stumbling through that hole, but still keeping his feet alive. That balance you talked about from McMillan, like a ballerina in pads.
Yeah, this is a beautiful thing.
So athletic.
Watch him get skinny and low and duck under the arm tackle, the attempted arm tackle of the defender. Watch him come underneath. Whoop, right up underneath you, and look at the balance again. Falling forward before being tackled. McMillan is showing you the entire bag, folks.
2nd and 3. All of a sudden, momentum snatched right back. This Eastern Michigan offense had the penalty that set him back on the hold. Overcome what was 1st and 20. 2nd and 15 as well. Tough pitch. Able to make it. Just lucky that was kind of successful as McMillan holds it in.
It's a very physical hit by Jaden Duggar. If you're going to run a read option look, you've got to live with the fact that your quarterback may get hit, and that time Kim took a shot from the Raging Cajuns' leading tackler in Jaden Duggar. He was able to make a successful pitch, though, so we're at 3rd and short.
Looks like they'll try to run it behind this package. They do. Bring in the big body of Dunlap. 215 pounds. Not sneaking his way through, forcing his way through for a first down.
An outstanding block by Nick Harris, number 83, coming across the formation. Boom, kick out at the point of attack, and that's exactly what launched McMillan for the first down. Great execution.
Hand it off once again, right into the teeth of that Louisiana defense. Eastern Michigan has been good in the red zone this season. Enter today perfect, whether you consider that field goals or touchdowns. So been efficient in that territory of the field. And trying to finish off this drive in a big way when we come back for the fourth quarter. A 3-point game in Ypsilanti. Eastern Michigan goes right back in front, and it is Dunlap once again.
When you got two backs that can get it done, it wears the defense down. We knew that Louisiana had two backs, and Tavier Dunlap is showing us that EMU has two backs as well. Physical, thick-bodied, 6 foot, 215-pound senior, has a nose for the end zone.
Fourth lead change, 4-point game. 14:56 to go in the fourth. Fun one, Tyoka Jackson.
Yeah, heavyweight battle. We talked about it. You hit me, I hit you. Back and forth. This might want to be one of those, whoever has the game or ball last wins the game. Don't go anywhere. This is beautiful in the factory.
Tavier Dunlap getting his guys fired up. Talked about the two-headed duo on Louisiana's side. Got Zylan Perry and Bill Davis, but Tavier Dunlap says, hey, we got a two-headed duo over here as well, me and Dante McMillan.
Started his career at Michigan, so you know he has Power 5 talent, and he's just now starting to get going. I mean, as they get into conference play, he's going to be a huge weapon in the MAC, because you know how physical that conference is. And so you're going to need two backs. We've seen Dante McMillan as a flat-out star, but Dunlap comes in. If he can continue to produce the way he has, he's going to be a big part of this offense as the season wears on.
buckle up for what should be, or what already is, a very good fourth quarter. 11 plays, 75 yards. Eastern Michigan goes down the field. Answering back, got to credit Noah Kim a lot as well. His mentality not wavering one bit after the pick six.
They have a short memory. We talk about cornerbacks having short memories when they give up big plays. Quarterbacks have to have them too when they have a disaster play like that.
Kim amongst the top. And when you look at MAC quarterbacks so far in passing yards, it's taken out by Robert Williams for Louisiana. And he tries to break a couple of tackles out near the 30-yard line. For Louisiana, Tayoka, has Daniel Beal proved that you can't just load up the box against me because I can throw the football?
No question about it. He is showing that continued work in practice, ongoing skill development will get you in the direction you want to go. People like to look at the first 3 games and think that the season's over. Well, you know, Coach Desmo talked about it's never as bad as people think it is, and it's never as good as people think it is when you're winning. And so that mentality of ongoing skill development, believing in our players, you're seeing Bill now be a beneficiary of that. And I expect him to get better and better as the season goes on, as you see the lunch pail group come in. What's it called? What do we call it? The lunch box?
The lunch box.
There we go.
The lunch Winfield comes in. Every third series, they're bringing him in. Yep, that clever set of plays feeding off his fun name, Lunch Winfield, Lunchbox. But
5-yard penalty.
Doesn't start on the high note.
No, that's not how you want to do it. I mean, you know you got the lunchbox crew coming in. You definitely want to start them with a 5-yard penalty for no reason. Got to be ready to play. And remember, this is coming off of a kickoff return situation, so there's really no excuse for that penalty.
We'll find out what's in the lunchbox here. Usually it's a designed run. Here it is, designed run right on cue, hurdling a man, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe about a yard shy of that. But definitely not, you don't want to set yourself back when you're going with the lunchbox type sets.
No, you want to, in my opinion, you want to run zone coverage where eyes are on the quarterback when lunch comes in the game. You want everybody to see him. You don't want to do a whole lot of man coverage, which you're tempted to do to bring people forward, because if he breaks the line of scrimmage on any kind of pass play with guys running away from him, you're in trouble.
We'll hand it off. Spinning down is Bill Davis. It's a Louisiana group that had 4 total passing yards last week, as crazy as that sounds, against Missouri. Of course, 52-10 loss. Really good Mizzou team. Eclipsed that by far in the opening quarter alone on their opening drive when they had 39 yards passing. Opening drive that resulted in a touchdown. So they've moved the ball. But on 3rd and 8, this crowd at the factory going to get fired up here.
Lunch stays in the game. That's very interesting to me, that in what looks to be a passing situation, your runner stays in. Man coverage across the board.
A lot of pointing towards the left side of the line where Brian Williams was set up. Remember, he slid in at left tackle.
Full start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It is Williams who came in for Jamarion Gooch earlier in the game at left tackle.
A mountain of a man, 6'7", 335 pounds. And so when you flinch at that size, wearing all white, it's going to draw the attention of the officials. And that took a tough situation to an even worse situation for the Raging Cajuns. Seven penalties now for 55 yards, and very untimely penalties at that.
They just opt to run it on the 3rd and 12. But they've gotten a lot of yardage on the ground. But like you said, when Winfield is in, it's not set up for 3rd and 12. And they'll have to punt this away with still plenty of time to go.
Yeah, no need to be egotistical and try to, trick anybody. This game is still in doubt. You're still in it, no question about it. Get as much as you can get and let's punt the football and play defense.
Potentially returnable here for Juan Salas, looking for a cutback lane on the left side of the field. Gets inside of Louisiana territory and dragged down inside of the 40. Some momentum from the defense, momentum on special teams, and the crowd on homecoming day getting fired up.
And that's the dangerous Juan Solis that I talked about earlier. Great punt return getting around the corner.
Sets up the Eagles in plus territory when we come back.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
All right, establishing the groundwork for the playoff. All the work starts now. 28-24, Eastern Michigan and Louisiana. 4-point game. These teams thinking right now about only today. They're not thinking down the road to January or anywhere in that territory. They need wins right now to tee up momentum for conference play. Momentum after that last punt return for Eastern Michigan and the last touchdown has them set up in a good spot here.
Man coverage.
Kim bouncing on his feet, finds Devereaux again. Brought down underneath that pile by Jaden Duggar.
That time the Louisiana defense fooled me. They showed man, and then at the snap of the ball, switched to zone. And that's what that defensive coordinator, Jim Salgado, talked about. Trying to play with the mind of Noah Kim. Showing him different pictures pre-snap than what you get post-snap. Fooled me. Didn't look like it fooled Kim, though.
Noah Kim played against Louisiana last year as a member of Coastal Carolina. Knows this style well from the defensive coordinator, Jim Salgado, who you talked about.
Coach Salgado said he went and looked at some film from last year. So that, you know, again, Kim can make all the throws. He already knew that, though, but just seeing it again on film tells him exactly how he needs to play him, and when he's in rhythm, he's a tough guy to stop. And that's the reason for all the disguises in the back half of the defense.
16-25, 2 touchdowns, 182 in that game against Louisiana last year when he was QB for Coastal. Flipped the uniform over this year, and back in the state of Michigan where he began his career at Michigan State. Play clock at 4.
Louisiana showing pressure.
They bring it. Kim has to get rid of this. Does. Good decision. Right up near the sticks. That ball caught by Porter Rooks. It's going to be 4th down, though.
How about the tackle from the freshman, Brent Gordon? Noah Kim keeping his head, being poised, finding open receiver. Now look at this tackle one-on-one by Gordon. That's a true freshman, folks, who they think has an outstanding future. 5'11", 190 pounds. It's a great job by Gordon.
So now trying to make it from 48 yards, a 7-point game, Could be a big kick here from Rudy Kessinger. Has the leg off the crossbar and in. A crossbar doink makes it a 31-24 game with 10:16 to go. So you got a touchdown lead now. He had a 50-yarder last week, Tayoka, 48 this time.
Most of the time, these doinks are no good for the kicker. This time, bam, right off the front rim, like my free throws, Jason. All good. Great job, young man.
Cutting his way through. Was there laundry behind the play? There is. A couple of flags as Williams was slicing and dicing up the field.
How dangerous is Williams, though? I mean, you squib kick it for the very reason not to get what you got out of it now.
Return, holding, return team, number 16, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Obviously, the hold is one of the reasons why he was able to do that, but just a sensational return, man. And that's going to be huge for this Raging Cajun team as they move forward through conference play. But now that's 8 penalties for Louisiana. That's the season high now for well over 60 yards. That's been a problem today, and they need to get it cleaned up. Again, that may eventually cost them this game. They've got to tighten up. They came in not bad at all in penalties, and now they got a season high.
Big stage for Daniel Beal as well. Redshirt freshman. Really his first time in a scenario down the wire like this, trying to get his team a win. He'll dump it off, and the catch made over on the sideline. Dre Miller that time. Tight ends. Wayne State began his career in this state of Michigan before moving over to Louisiana.
Hard play fake on the zone read going the opposite direction, and you boot Bill out on the back side and makes it an easy, comfortable throw, just a 2-route option, and you find Trey Miller wide open. Good execution.
Zylan Perry patiently getting through the defense before Llewellyn brings him down by the ankles.
That felt like that saved something, right? I mean, he had some room, and he was
Didn't even
pick him up, put him down.
He just kind of emerges out of the pack with that tackle, as he always does.
Playing in the box. He's very comfortable in doing that. Plays safety like a linebacker. They call it the bandit position because he's a little bit of a hybrid linebacker safety type guy.
He'll fake the run this time. Bottled up, though, is Beal. Brought down and sacked. Reaching the defense that time.
That's bias. Yep.
Came up the middle.
So this starts with outstanding coverage, because after this play fake, you want this ball to come out right now. And he's got nowhere to go, and Bias shows up on time. So that's about the timing of great tight coverage, and the rush coming free ends up with a quarterback sack, 3rd and long.
Got it off with 4 on the play clock. Quick throw, 1-on-1. They know what they wanted. Climbing the ladder to try to hold that in. And it is an excellent grab. Shelton Sampson Jr., 6'4", used every bit of it there.
Well, this is the Louisiana State University transfer. Watch him put it up. And this is just rebounding the ball, folks. Really subtle push off. See the arm bar? Just enough to keep the defender at bay. I like it. Very slick, not enough to draw the flag.
Going right back to the sideline, Robert Williams this time. Going back to the last grab from Shelton Sampson Jr. In spring, they said he had out of 500 plus balls caught, only 2 drops, 70% completion ratio. 40% of those were explosive plays, 10 to 15 yards. They just were hoping for that work, all that good stuff on paper to translate to the game. There it is.
That's exactly right. Coach Desimo said there's a lot of guys who put good stuff on practice tape. It just hasn't translated yet. 6'4", he is a tough matchup.
See if he comes back in here, because they may have another passing down scenario on the horizon. It'll be about 3rd and 8-ish after that tackle from Tyrell Martin. Senior from Delaware coming up big. And this is a spot of the field where you're kind of out of field goal range right now. So with 6:48 to go, maybe a couple of possessions left, especially with how Louisiana likes to play.
Sampson is not on the field.
They bring Jensen in motion, look that way. Ball is deflected, batted, dangerously caught off the ricochet by Perry. Will not quite be enough for a first down. But decision time.
Yeah, what a heads-up play by Perry to run the football. Right. So many times, guys who aren't involved in the throw stay where they are and watch. Tip at the line of scrimmage. Perry goes to the football. That should have been an incomplete pass. At worst, an incomplete pass. That's Perry hustling to the ball, and now his offense has a chance to make a huge fourth down as you see him going empty.
Huge play in this football game. BLM is picked off. Intercepted on 4th and 2. Caleb Dobbs has been excellent today at the cornerback spot for Eastern Michigan. Gets the turnover, and it is the first turnover all season that Eastern Michigan's defense has forced.
And Jason, he did it the hardest possible way. Watch him go around the back door. He knew exactly what was coming. He felt the slant all the way. Watch him go around the back door. A little bit of a pull through though, smart. Just like the receiver gets away with an arm bar, DBs can get away with going back door, slingshotting them around the corner. Great hands catch too by Caleb Dobbs.
With under 6 to go, turnover chain out for the first time. Gonna take the helmet off for it. That's a big one from Dobbs. 31-24, Eastern Michigan.
Is that a raccoon?
And now Noah Kim in the offense, right back out on the fields. And they'll go to the ground on the first play. Clock ticking away. Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts and the 2-minute timeout.
That was a raccoon turnover chain. I've never seen that before.
Like the bandit?
Yes.
Type of, yeah, that's my assumption there.
I love it. That's probably exactly what his name is.
Turnover bandit chain. It's out, and Dobbs is wearing it with some swag right now. So now for Louisiana, you start to think about their scenario. A team that generally grinds out drives. They have had a couple of drives result in touchdowns in a little over 3 minutes today. But not ideal for them, so they want to get off the field as soon as possible and get their offense back out there.
Yeah, it's still a one possession game. You get a stop here, you're back in business.
McMillan says that's going to be easier said than done. Ripping through tackles. There is a flag down behind the play.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Again, these offensive line infractions creeping in. Second time we've seen it. Third time we've seen it on the right side of the line there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because they had it humming now. They set themselves back, set themselves off schedule. Second and 16 now? If you're Louisiana defensively, you have got to take full advantage of this situation because the door is open for you.
What's going to be the key to that for them?
Well, they're going to have to tackle. Whether that is a receiver catching the ball in space or this run game, they have got to be sure tacklers.
Kim dropping back to pass. Pressure is there. Floated it over the outstretched arms. Those Flowers, who came in from his corner positions, they blitzed just about everyone there on 2nd and 16. Clock stops too in favor of Louisiana at 4 minutes and 46 seconds.
Well, Dante McMillan did the worst thing you can do in that situation, took his eyes off the ball. That was an easy catch. Watch the ball floating to him. He knows it's hanging up a little bit. He's worried about getting, see that, take it off? God, can't do it. First things first, catch the football, then go and run. We know you can make it happen in the open field, but you got to secure the ball first.
5 penalties for 53 yards today for Eastern Michigan. And that latest one setting them back. And helping Louisiana with this clock stopping. Now Kim looks to the sideline as Porter Rooks tried to make a man miss and did. Stayed in bounds just above the 30-yard line. So clock ticking down. Louisiana with their 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout.
Plenty of time. And I love the zone defense there. That was excellent job. They try to run a clear out through and then throw it under the underneath guy to make a play. You take care of the deep shot in this situation. You cannot let the ball go behind you. Let them throw it in front of you. You can rally it up with pursuit. So that is outstanding defense by Louisiana, something that hasn't been said a lot this year, but against the pass, they have been very good, and that's showing up again today.
Robert Williams, elusive punt returner. Back to receive this one off the foot of Tomasek.
Look out here.
You said, trying to avoid giving it right to him. Made a couple men miss to begin this punt return, then spiraled down at the 24-yard line. Who has the magic in him? 3:48 to go in the fourth. Beal trying to lead a potential game-time drive when we come back. .348 to go. Stage is set. Welcome you back to the MAC on ESPN+. Eastern Michigan starts MAC play next week. Right now, they're focused defensively on the final .348. Coach Michael Desimo of Louisiana, a group that was in their conference championship game a season ago. They have a rematch of that conference championship in the Sun Belt with Marshall next week. Their focus right now, the young QB, redshirt freshman Daniel Beal. Could he lead a game-time drive? It's off to a great start. Slashing over the middle there is Charles Robertson, just his second catch of the season. And it's a first down.
This is the best game I've seen Beal play all year. And it hasn't been perfect. But his toughness and his intelligence is shining through, and those are his superpowers.
Won a couple of state championships in high school. Baton Rouge, Louisiana native, stayed in his home state. Now he's under pressure from Evans. His second interception of the game is what he throws on his back-to-back possessions. Picked off. And Eastern Michigan's defense that hadn't forced a turnover all season now has back-to-back INTs. Llewellyn this time with the pick.
Well, did I jinx the young man? I'm not in love with the back-to-back throws when your best players are the running backs. But we talked about how intelligent and tough he is, and this is just pressure getting to a young man. That ball should never be thrown. And you see him grab his head right after he threw it. He understood that had no business being thrown. And at the very least, throw it out of bounds. You're outside the pocket. If you throw that ball out of bounds, as long as it gets to the line of scrimmage, there's no downing the football. Huge mental error by the young quarterback. And we got another turnover chain.
Turnover raccoon chain is back out.
We called him Bandit. That's our nickname for him until we find out otherwise.
Llewellyn has had a day. They call him a safety that plays like a linebacker. I think that's been the best description we have heard. McMillan up the middle. Right now, Eastern Michigan trying to protect the football. Again, can't re-emphasize Eastern Michigan. They came into this week telling us we got to force some turnovers. Hadn't forced a turnover yet this season. They forced 7 in the first 5 games last year. It was a big part of a 4-1 start. This year, 0-3, but they forced 2 on back-to-back possessions. We had a timeout called by Louisiana.
Please reset the game clock.
And they'll set up in plus territory here. Even a field goal can make it a 2-possession game.
Thank you.
With 3:02 to go.
It is so hard to play straight-up defense, play after play, drive after drive, game after game. Even the best defenses really need to help yourself with turnovers. Just like in basketball, they talk about getting easy buckets in transition. Well, this defensively, the turnover is the great eraser. You can have a terrible series going on, but when you get that ball out and turn it over, all's forgiven. And they hadn't done it all year. They've got 2 in this game alone, and that's set up this situation where they've got a 7-point lead, the ball on the plus side of their territory, and they can be who they are offensively with a clock and game-killing drive right here.
Chris Creighton knows there's still a lot of coaching to do down this final 3:02.
If you're Louisiana, you're tugging at that football. You're trying to make your own big play.
More patient running. Now you've got the 3rd down coming up, and you're about at the marker where Rudy Kessinger could potentially come out and try a field goal if you don't gain anything after this. Louisiana takes their 2nd timeout.
So I guarantee you the discussion on the EMU sidelines, what do you do here? Do you potentially throw for a 1st down and try to end the game by getting a 1st down, or are you going to put it on your offensive line and your backs to run tough, and if you don't get it, the clock is rolling? So this is one of those critical situations where the decision making here is going to help decide this football game. Mike Piakowski, it's on him to come up with the right decision. And there's a decision to be made also on the Louisiana sideline. Are you thinking blitzing to stop in the run if you're Coach Delgado? Are you thinking of playing conservative because you're not exactly sure what you're going to get?
Here we go, 3rd and 4. Biggest 3rd down of the game to this point. Kim fakes the shovel, then got met on the interior by Terrence Williams. So that'll force 4th down and about 5.
I don't think that was an option situation. I think that was an inside zone run by the quarterback all the way, because if it was an option, I just believe that that ball would have got pitched out, because I didn't see any outside defenders to take McMillan. Great job by Louisiana. Now you've given your offense a chance. EMU's going to let this clock run and I think use a timeout.
First charge timeout. Eastern Michigan.
Should be a 52-yarder from where they're setting up. Rudy Kessinger hit a 50-yarder last week at Kentucky, redshirt freshman from Columbus, Ohio. He'd be trying to make it a 10-point game.
So that discussion right now in the middle of that Louisiana huddle is about, first things first, being on sides. You cannot be off sides in this situation. Second, you're telling your defensive lineman, Kessinger's going to have to drive this football. This is a block opportunity. He can't just pop it up and get that thing 50-plus yards. So you're going to have your opportunity to block this if you get penetration and get your hands up. But repeat, don't be off sides, because that could kill our game.
A 52-yard attempt to make it a 2-possession game. It is wide, well wide. And Louisiana very much still alive in this football game.
Wow. Pressure kick. As they say, pressure busts pipes, but pressure also creates diamonds. And now the pressure is on Louisiana offense. Can their young quarterback, Beal, clear everything that's happening up until this point be calm in this situation and make the right decisions. First of all, I think the run game is still available. You got 2 minutes and 8 seconds. You have only one timeout. But remember, in college football, you also have the 2-minute timeout. And you also stop the clock with every first down. So running the football, to me, is still a viable option.
Terrence Williams had the big tackle for Louisiana to force that 4th and 5. And the missed field goal. Beal gets to reset. He's throwing interceptions on back-to-back possessions. Delivers this. It's dangerously batted up at the line of scrimmage. Eastern Michigan's defensive line really humming right now.
They're tasting blood and water. That's what this is. This is where I think, again, a run gives you opportunity to gash the defense. They're in full pass rush mode up front. As you really get a good look at Messiah Blair, who's been very active and all over the field. You got Blair and Sterling Miles on opposite corners. This rush is coming, folks.
6'7", got his big paws on that last pass. We'll see if they listen to you on the run game here. They do. Nice cut, good hole. Oh, what a hurdle there from Perry. There is a flag down, though. That was a gorgeous sequence of running from Perry, from the patience to the hurdle to how it ended. But is it coming back?
No question, it's coming back with another hold.
Offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down. This is the 2-minute timeout.
1:56 to go. Louisiana gonna have to hurdle their way over that last penalty marker when we return. Looking for some fourth quarter magic in the final 2 minutes. To try to get some of that penalty yardage back. It's Beal with his arm to the tight end, and Jensen. Quick tackle, though, out on the edge, and the tackling has really improved in the second half. Barry Manning with the tackle that time. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, that's a big play by Manning. Make the hit, ball goes down right there.
This feels like 4-down territory right now for Louisiana. Trying to get it back. Beal again underneath, that is dropped. Had Jensen in and out of his hands. Manning, though, once again there on the coverage.
Well, that's really unfortunate because Beal kept his wits about him as that pocket began to collapse around him. Watch the pocket begin to close on the young quarterback. But look at the poise. That's an accurate ball. That's a catchable ball. And Caden Jensen just lets his quarterback down. Again, trying to run, I think, before he secures the ball. Catch it first, then go. Here's the ball game.
Beal was given another lifeline, trying to keep it alive. Eludes the pressure, flag goes down, lofts it up, that is caught.
Guess what? It's coming back.
There's a flag down. Shelton Sampson made the grab, but everyone looking back to that marker.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. 4th down.
They got George Jackson, and it's going to come back again. O-line infractions derailing this series.
Let's take a look at it. Left side of your screen. Oh, he's beat right now. Tried to be slick, and he's hurting, by the way, folks. I mean, you know, give him credit for being a tough guy, and sometimes being too tough can hurt your team, and he just couldn't stay square with that beautiful outside rush. But I believe that was Sterling Miles turning that corner and try to get away with a quick pull. Didn't happen, and now 4th down and forever.
4th and 24. Think about maybe lofting it up to Shelton Sampson, your 6'4" target. If you have time to do that, they're going to loft it up. Looking for Williams in traffic. 3rd interception of the day, and this one should seal the deal. There is a flag behind the play. Salas picked it off.
Roughing the passer.
Whoa.
Defense, number 0.
Oh.
15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Talk about lifelines given. This is the ultimate 2nd, 3rd, now 4th life.
3-man rush, and Makai's working hard. Oh my goodness, and I'm just telling you, I don't like the call.
They say a cat has 9 lives. This is number 10.
Oh my gosh. What do you want him to do, Jason Ross Jr.? I mean, he's working on a double team, makes a beautiful move. He hits the quarterback just as he released the ball. This is not the NFL where coming down on the quarterback is illegal. I have no idea why that flag was thrown.
As frustrating as it could possibly get. 1st and 10 after 4th and 24. Thought the game was over. Instead, Louisiana with life, and that is caught downfield. Shelton Sampson comes up big, the 6'4" target, double covered. Are you kidding me?
If they give you life, you better take advantage of it. As we see an injured player
being spotted. Officials timeout for an injured player of the offense.
Now, the key to that was prior to the ball being spotted, Jason. Had that ball been spotted, it'd be a 10-second runoff, but it wasn't. As you see Sampson just running a 9 route, just flat running through the defense. Unbelievable. Cannot let that happen. Wow. College football, incredible, isn't it? Just when you think you knew how this game was going to end, as someone very, very famous who just retired said, not so fast, my friend.
Lee Corso's influence still all over this beautiful game. 71, George Jackson down. You mentioned he had been hurting. 4th and 24. To recap it, it looked like Louisiana was dead in the water. Just a chance to loft it up. They did that. It was picked off. Thought the game was over. Roughing the passer called, automatic first down. And Chris Creighton, we said a couple minutes ago, it felt like he still had a lot of coaching to do. I don't think we thought after that 4th and 24 was going to go much longer.
Right.
But this game nowhere near over with 1:04 left. Well, here we go, buckle up. There is some 4th quarter Southern magic left in Louisiana. Beal overthrew that, but what is this call as there was a lot of hand fighting and entanglement there.
I think you're going to have some defensive holding.
Dobbs goes palms up like, what did I do? There was a lot of fighting between the hands on both sides.
Holding. Defense, number 17. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yep, so they get Dobbs.
And this is ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest about it. As disciplined and as well as EMU has played up until the final seconds of this game.
Had all the momentum.
Yes.
All the momentum.
And again, I think that first rough and passer was completely bogus, but since then, this is crazy.
Unraveling now, Eastern Michigan crowd trying to implore their team to a stop. Louisiana, of course, needs a touchdown and the extra point. Beal wants the end zone, wants Williams. Back corner incomplete, covered by Solis there.
I don't understand the inability to run the football, at least to call it. Where you are inside the 20-yard line, you've got a timeout. It's 51 seconds, which is an eternity. You still are a running football team. Your best football players are in your backfield. I just don't understand how you don't give them an opportunity to run it in.
2 penalties for 25 yards for Eastern Michigan on this drive has given Louisiana a couple of first downs. This is 2nd and 10. From the 10 with 50 seconds left, they go to the ground. Hole opens up, 1-point game. Perry pierces the end zone. A chance to tie or possibly take the lead if you want to go for 2.
Doesn't have to be complicated, Jason Ross Jr. When your best players are your running backs and you've got new life, put it in their hands.
The all-important extra point as they're going to seek to tie this with 47 seconds left.
Tony Sterner to attempt the point after.
Tony Sterner, 31-31, as improbable of a score as you could have after what was at one point 4th and 24 on this drive.
Look at the blocking, outstanding. We've seen these backs get to the second level untouched time and time again. Nothing's changed. Just a beautiful job of blocking the perimeter. And that's as easy a touchdown as Perry's probably going to have all year.
This all goes back to a stop from the Louisiana defense. A missed field goal from Rudy Kessinger, which kept Louisiana alive. It looked like they weren't alive anymore after a 4th and 24 play that resulted in a roughing the passer call that kept things going. Then a couple more penalties for Eastern Michigan. And Louisiana goes to their strength to cap it off in the ground game of Zylan Perry. This is why you love college football. You wake up on a Saturday and you never know what could happen.
When you think you know, you probably don't know. So you better watch it, because the players will decide it.
Michael Desimo, the head coach for Louisiana, talked to us about facing adversity earlier in a season like they have so far to this point. Said you get back to the drawing board and you go to work. Perhaps a little luck sprinkled in, gave them a couple more cracks at that offensive drawing board down the final couple of minutes here. Still 47 seconds, a squibber here, and pouncing on it, looks like Evans there.
Don't love that, Jason. I'm going to be honest with you.
Interesting. Sets Eastern Michigan up. They have 2 timeouts.
It's a 35-yard line, man.
They're not, I mean, talk about getting in field goal range here.
Right.
You're looking at maybe 35-yard line for Rudy Kessinger.
2 timeouts, 44 seconds on the clock. Yeah, you'll take this offensively if you're the Eagles. There's a mortar kick where you kick it a little bit further, low to the ground, but let that thing sort of dance on the field around the 15 or 10-yard line. That was way too short.
Noah Kim, his first season at Eastern Michigan, last season of his college career, talked to us about embracing every moment. Here's one of those dream moments as a quarterback served up on a platter. Trying to lead a game-winning drive. Doesn't have a lot of time. Finds McMillan dancing in space. Broke tackles just past the 40-yard line. Won't be enough for a first down.
Timeout.
So they call the timeout.
Eastern Michigan,
Stop the
second
clock
charge.
at 35 seconds.
Tim Leger said the best when they're at, not Tim Leger, I've got the wrong coordinator. How about Mike Piatowski says,
Please reset the game clock to 36 seconds. 36 seconds on the game clock, please.
when Noah Kim is at his best, he's taking what the defense gives him. In this situation, this 2-minute hurry-up situation with a timeout, 36 seconds, you do not have to be over-aggressive with the football. You can move the chains by taking what the defense gives you. You're going to see 2 deep safeties. The middle of the field is open. And again, in college football, the clock will stop momentarily on all first downs. You don't have to force anything. So if these outside passes along the sidelines aren't there, take what the defense gives you. The check down will be there.
Chris Creighton said, I've still got deep belief in what's possible for this team during an 0-3 start. A lot of that belief rests in his grad student QB, Noah Kim, who has a ton of experience. They added a second onto the clock, 36 ticks left in this fourth. Kim well protected. No flags out, has to scurry, just gets out of bounds.
See, he had the check down, he didn't take it. He had the release zone on the outside, Dante McMillan in the flat. He could have taken it quickly. McMillan would have got the first down and got out of bounds. He tried to get a little greedy and look downfield, and that's when the rush showed up. Very critical in this situation. You take your free throws, so to speak. They're free plays to get first downs. You got to take them.
3rd and 1 here. Clock stopped at 30 seconds. In a 31-31 game. Kim will drop back, had the check down available, kept it instead, throws it downfield, man open, inside of the 30, and out of bounds, the tight end Joshua Long, biggest catch of the game.
Oh, he's living dangerously. You saw the shallow. Yeah.
I saw the check down.
That shallow crosser was wide open. He said, I want more. And the rush was bearing down on him. It worked out.
They get inside of Rudy Kessinger's range.
Wow. As Bill Rafferty says, the onions on this kid.
27-yard game, dart to the sideline, incomplete.
Watch the shallow cross. There he is, wide open. He says, no, I don't care that the rush is on my heels. I'm going to make a hero play by getting outside the pocket and finding my big tight end, Joshua Long, wide open along the sidelines. And why was he wide open? If you're Louisiana, you got to be as deep as the deepest and as wide as the widest in this situation because the clock is an extra defender against the Eagles.
From here, it's a 46-yard field goal. Still 18 seconds left.
Don't be shocked at a run here, Jason Ross Jr. They have a timeout.
Third and final charge timeout, Louisiana.
There's no reason that you have to kick this ball on fourth down. You can pop a run and get to where you want to be in the field and call your timeout and kick it on third or fourth down. You don't have to wait till fourth. It can happen on third. So what I'm saying is I wouldn't be against running the football here. Now, the downside to that, if you get little to no yards, you got to call your timeout, and that burns it there. So, I mean, there is some risk to it, but at the end of the day, you're a running football team. Now, one of your best players is your quarterback, so I understand putting it in his hands as well.
Saw the first-year kicker, Rudy Kessinger, on the sideline there. Wonder what his nervous system feels like right now. Missed his last attempt.
Light box, they got this defense spread out. And with their tailback stepping up like that, that takes the run game out of it unless it's going to be quarterback run.
Kim looking to pass to the sideline. Incomplete. Quick decision to throw that away. Only receiver in the vicinity was Devereaux.
Number 81 is in the area, third down.
Yeah, it's smart. He wants to avoid the sack that may take his team out of field goal range. That's just a smart play. Once you throw that pass beyond the line of scrimmage toward a receiver, takes downing out of the equation. If you're Louisiana, do you bring that pressure that you're showing or do you back out? I say you play coverage.
They give it to McMillan, running to the right side, now expecting that timeout to come in a hurry with 7 seconds left on the clock. Should be time for Rudy Kessinger.
Charge timeout, Eastern Michigan.
Surprised he didn't let it run down, though, Jason. Let this be the last play of the game, though. Why would you not run it down to at least 2 or 3 seconds so that we know 100% it's the last play of the game?
Chris Creighton wasn't happy about something. You saw head coach for Eastern Michigan in there irate, talking with his staff. We're talking to the officials, but here he's talking to the officials with 7 seconds left. Definitely the option now is Kessinger coming out to try to give Eastern Michigan the lead. What they're hoping will be a go-ahead field goal.
I think this argument, Jason, is that he didn't call a timeout because he understands that, hey, he's not trying to speak to existence, but what if there's a terrible snap or block or whatever? Louisiana can get this ball back with real time left on the clock. So I think he's upset that, hey, I didn't call timeout yet.
It's a 41-yard go-ahead attempt for Kessinger. Missed his last one. Redeems himself here, and the Eagles are in front with 3 seconds left.
Now he took his helmet off, Jason. Look, you know how I feel about kickers. And what a great job by Kessinger to make the kick.
Field goal was good.
But you
the play was over.
can't.
Like conduct. Offense number 46 removing his helmet. This first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
You just robbed yourself of an unbelievable moment by taking your helmet off. Great kick, though. And he boomed it.
First-year kicker, he'll learn from that, but missed the moment that he's hoping to celebrate at the end of the night today.
Sure. And again, Coach Creighton is upset that this isn't a walk-off because he didn't want to call timeout when the timeout was called. But Kessinger thought it was a walk-off. He's acting like there is no time left on the clock. And now they're yelling at him, put your helmet back on, and that's why that smile's off his face. Well, at least he got all of it, right? He got the most out of it. But
no, you're right. You wonder if they thought it was a walk-off initially. Instead, let's see some lateral and trickery work here from Louisiana with 3 seconds left.
Or if they pop it up, you can get a fair catch and
Yep.
you'll have one play down the field. So there's no way you pop this ball up. You kick a hard mortar ball, which is like a squiggle kick, but down to at least the 25-yard line. You boom this thing low and hard and let it hit the ground.
Diver kicking off.
See, I don't like kicking it up in the air in this situation because it creates this. Obviously, you say, well, it's one play, 3 seconds left. Well, what happens if it's another roughing a passer? What happens if it's a pass interference? And now you got untimed down situations. This game has been crazy enough. I'm kicking that ball on the ground and making them pick the ball up and run this clock out.
It has been a day where right when you think it's over, it's not. Louisiana was able to give themselves a few more lives than we expected in the last possession, but just 3 seconds left now.
So with 3 seconds, that takes the quick out pattern, stop the clock out of it. So this is going to be the crazy play that every offense walks through on every Friday. I think you're going to see some pitching.
Eastern Michigan rushes 3. Beal, it is caught. First lateral. Now running with it is Sampson Jr.
You got to reverse the ball.
Drops
There
it
you go.
back. Beal once more.
That's a
over
forward
to Robert
pass.
Williams. He gets caught, and it would have been a forward pass anyway. So Eastern Michigan.
Illegal forward pass. Offense. Penalty will be declined.
On homecoming day, survives
This is the end of the game.
and picks up win number 1 of the season in a game with a script that felt like it wasn't ending for them after they thought it was over. Had to keep battling down the stretch, and they pick up win number 1 in front of the home fans.
Well, this game turned out to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. Hotly contested. We thought we would see a better version of both of these teams that we had seen on tape. They did not disappoint. Obviously, there's a lot to clean up, starting with penalties on both sides, but also there's a lot of good stuff they can build off as they head into conference play.
Dramatic finish down the stretch. Noah Kim, the grad student QB, picks up his first win as the starter at Eastern Michigan. 34-31. Both of these teams will start conference play next week. Eastern Michigan playing Central Michigan. Louisiana taking on Marshall. Another look at what turned out to be the game winner. From 41, Kessinger's first career game-winning field goal.
And he didn't lay it short either. He put some power behind it, but that's going to be a teachable moment for the young kicker, Kessinger. Keep your helmet on until you get to the sidelines. Then you can get lit.
They can light it up tonight now in Ypsilanti, getting that first victory. Blend of the youth and experience getting involved today, and ultimately a victory for Eastern Michigan. For Taoka Jackson, our producer Jeff Graham, director Kevin Shank, everyone in the crew, you guys were phenomenal behind the scenes. I'm Jason Ross Jr. saying so long. Thanks for watching the MAC on ESPN+. Have a great rest of your college football Saturday.